There are places on this planet where light has never touched, where silence isn't empty, but alive, whispering secrets buried for millennia. Beneath the crushing pressure of the ocean lies a world older than human memory, a realm of forgotten cities, sunken monuments, and strange formations no one can quite explain. Stone roads that vanish into the abyss, perfect circles carved into the seafloor, entire ruins, impossibly preserved where no civilization was ever known to exist. Who built them? Why did they vanish? And why does the sea guard them so jealously? Scientists offer theories. Myths offer warnings. But somewhere between the known and the unknowable, the deep holds its silence. A silence more ancient than the pyramids, more enduring than time. Tonight, we surrender to that silence. So dim the lights. Let the tide of curiosity pull you under. What follows is over 3 hours of haunting mysteries, unanswered questions, and deep-sea wonders designed to captivate your imagination or lull you into dreams filled with the echoes of the unknown. So sit back, relax, and let's dive deeper into the mystery. Along the jagged coastline where the restless sea meets the rugged cliffs, a persistent mist clings to the air, softening the outlines of forgotten stones and broken foundations. Here, beneath waves that glimmer with the pale light of a setting sun, lie the silent remains of what some have come to call the Drowned Kingdom. It is a place where time itself seems suspended, a submerged landscape of crumbled walls, fallen towers, and long-forgotten streets swallowed by the sea's slow, unyielding embrace. From the air, the contours of this sunken world are faint but unmistakable. An ancient city once alive with the pulse of human endeavor, now reduced to submerged ruins mapped only by the currents and the shifting sands. The water is cold, often murky, and veils the submerged remnants in a spectral shroud. For centuries, this place has invited curiosity and speculation, drawing historians, archaeologists, and dreamers alike into a labyrinth of questions. What was this kingdom? When did it flourish? And how did it come to be claimed by the ocean? Archaeological findings reveal that the city's foundations date back several millennia, hinting at a civilization both advanced and deeply connected to the sea. Stone carvings uncovered from nearby islands depict ships bearing intricate sails, bustling harbors, and ritual ceremonies performed by figures who seem to bridge the natural and the divine. Written records, sparse and fragmented, speak in cryptic terms of a prosperous realm named Elithria, a name that surfaces sporadically in ancient texts but vanishes without clear explanation. The widely accepted historical narrative suggests that a catastrophic event, possibly a massive earthquake followed by a tidal wave, led to the kingdom's sudden demise and eventual submersion. Geological surveys support this theory, showing evidence of seismic activity in the region around 3,200 years ago. Sediment layers reveal a dramatic shift in coastal geography, consistent with a violent upheaval that reshaped the landscape overnight. Yet despite these findings, many details remain elusive. Why does Elithria's story appear so abruptly in the historical record, only to disappear as suddenly? How could a kingdom with such sophisticated architecture and maritime prowess fail to leave more tangible traces on the lands that survived? And what of the accounts describing voices heard beneath the waves, whispers carried on the wind, as if the sea itself remembers? These ethereal reports, often dismissed as folklore, have persisted for generations among coastal communities. Fishermen speak of strange murmurs emanating from the depths on moonless nights. Divers tell tales of fleeting shadows glimpsed among the ruins, shapes that defy rational explanation. Some have reported finding artifacts, ornate jewelry, weathered tablets inscribed with unknown scripts that seem to resist cataloging or translation, challenging the very frameworks historians rely upon. More speculative theories have emerged from this fertile ground of mystery. Some scholars have proposed that Eleutheria was not merely a kingdom but a hub of esoteric knowledge, a civilization whose understanding of natural forces surpassed that of its contemporaries. Could their sudden disappearance be linked to a cataclysm not just geological but metaphysical, a rupture in the delicate balance between human society and the elemental powers they sought to command? Others suggest the drowned kingdom might have been a nexus between the human world and realms beyond, an idea supported by tales of submerged temples where priests purportedly communicated with otherworldly entities. These legends, while lacking concrete evidence, add layers of complexity to an already enigmatic narrative. They ask us to consider the possibility that Eleutheria's fate was intertwined not only with the sea, but with dimensions of reality we have yet to comprehend. Intriguingly, recent underwater explorations using advanced sonar mapping and remotely operated vehicles have uncovered anomalies within the ruins, geometric patterns and structural alignments that defy known architectural norms of the period. Could these be markers of an undiscovered technology or symbolic codes intended to convey messages across time? The scientific community remains divided, cautious to avoid conjecture, yet unable to ignore the compelling strangeness of the findings. This blend of the tangible and the intangible, the rigor of archaeological evidence intertwined with the whispers of legend, invites a unique kind of reflection. What do we truly know about the past when history itself is submerged, fragmented by time and tide? How do we interpret the silences, the absences as much as the artifacts? The story of the drowned kingdom is not just a tale of a lost city, it is a mirror held up to our own understanding of civilization, memory, and the forces beyond human control. As researchers continue to peel back layers beneath the waves, the questions multiply. What secrets remain locked within the cold embrace of the ocean? Are the whispers that reach us mere echoes of a bygone era, or do they carry messages yet undeciphered? Perhaps Eleutheria's true story has been waiting beneath the surface all along, not just in stone or script, but in the space between certainty and mystery. In the end, the drowned kingdom challenges us to look deeper, not only at the past it once inhabited, but at the boundaries of knowledge itself. The waves continue their quiet work, shaping and reshaping the ruins, as if guarding a truth that we have only begun to glimpse. What else lies beneath, waiting for discovery? And how far are we willing to go to uncover it? Following the submerged remnants of the drowned kingdom, our journey takes us further into the shadowy depths of the ocean's memory, to a place whispered about in maritime circles but seldom seen. The forgotten port beneath the waves. Unlike sprawling cities claimed by cataclysm, this port is a quieter enigma, nestled in the folds of an ancient seabed, a ghostly relic where commerce, culture, and the relentless tide intersect in silence. Imagine descending through cold, dark waters, light fading until only the beam of a submersible cuts through the gloom. Slowly, outlines emerge. Weathered piers stretching like skeletal fingers into the abyss, stone warehouses half buried in silt, rusted anchors and chains tangled among coral and seaweed. Time has softened the edges, but the unmistakable imprint of human hands remains. This is no natural formation but a crafted harbor, once alive with the rhythm of ships arriving and departing, the calls of dock workers, and the creak of timber under the weight of trade. Archaeologists have identified this site through sonar imaging and underwater excavation along a continental shelf long thought barren. Radiocarbon dating places the port's active years between the late Bronze Age and early Iron Age, a period of intense maritime expansion and cultural exchange. Pottery shards, metal tools, and remnants of cargo tell a story of connectivity, a hub where distant civilizations met, bartered, and perhaps exchanged more than goods. Yet, the port story is punctuated by riddles. Why was such a strategically located harbor abandoned and left to the sea? Historical records mention thriving coastal towns nearby, but none directly correspond to the location now submerged. Could rising sea levels have swallowed the coastline, pushing inhabitants inland? Geological surveys show a gradual, rather than sudden, submersion, yet local legends hint at darker, more abrupt causes. Fishermen in neighboring regions speak in hushed tones of strange currents and eerie lights flickering beneath the waves near the port's coordinates. Divers recount disorienting sensations, compasses spinning, instruments malfunctioning within the vicinity, as if something unseen disturbs the magnetic field. These reports, while anecdotal, echo tales recorded centuries ago by mariners who warned against lingering near the sunken docks, attributing mysterious disappearances to the restless spirits of lost sailors or ancient curses. The artifacts recovered deepen the mystery. Among the everyday objects are unusual items, ornate carvings depicting unknown symbols, fragments of what appear to be celestial maps, and intricately crafted jewelry fashioned from materials not native to the region. Scholars debate the origins of these items, suggesting the port may have been a crossroads not only of commerce, but of culture and knowledge. Was it a center of early navigation science or esoteric practices tied to the sea and stars? Some researchers propose that the port's abandonment was linked to economic shifts, trade routes diverted, resources depleted, yet this does not fully account for the site's sudden disappearance from historical annals. Others suggest a more enigmatic cause, a ritualistic evacuation prompted by a perceived threat, possibly environmental or supernatural in nature. Could the port's inhabitants have fled in haste, leaving behind treasures and tools as silent testaments to a crisis lost to time? Theories grow bolder when considering the unusual underwater formations near the port, structures that defy simple explanation. Natural reefs and rock outcrops mingle with what appear to be deliberately shaped terraces and walls, some aligned with astronomical phenomena. Is this evidence of an advanced understanding of the cosmos encoded into the very foundations of the harbor? If so, what purpose did such alignments serve? Were they markers for navigation, ceremonial sites, or something beyond our current comprehension? Modern technology has unveiled glimpses of the port's complexity, but each discovery seems to deepen the enigma. Why did such a pivotal maritime hub vanish from maps and memory? What forces shaped its fate, natural, human, or something else entirely? The slow drift of sediment continues to cloak the port, guarding its secrets against the probing eyes of science and curiosity. In reflecting on the forgotten port beneath the waves, we are reminded that history is as much about what is lost as what is found. The ocean's depths hold more than shipwrecks and relics. They preserve stories that challenge our understanding of past civilizations and their relationship with the sea. This submerged port is a silent witness to those stories, a place where fact and mystery converge. What truths linger in the quiet spaces beneath the waves? What whispers remain in the currents that flow through forgotten docks and sunken streets? As the tides ebb and flow, so too does the boundary between the known and the unknown shift, inviting us to look deeper, listen closer, and wonder what remains hidden, just out of reach, beneath the surface. From the quiet echoes of a forgotten port, where once bustling docks now lie swallowed by the sea, our exploration drifts onward to a place where the boundaries between land and ocean blur even more deeply, the vanishing temples of the tides. These ancient sanctuaries, caught in the eternal dance of ebb and flow, reveal a story not only of stone and devotion, but of time itself slipping through the fingers of history. Imagine standing on a rocky shoreline at dawn, the salt-tinged air cool and still. As the tide retreats, an outline appears on the sand. Massive stone blocks, intricately carved pillars, and the faint trace of steps worn smooth by centuries. Then, with the return of the tide, this temple vanishes beneath the waves once more, as if reluctant to disclose its secrets. This cycle repeats daily, a rhythm older than memory, inviting contemplation of impermanence and mystery. Archaeologists first documented these tidal temples decades ago. Their initial discoveries met with a mixture of wonder and skepticism. Located along coastlines vulnerable to rising seas and shifting sands, these structures are remnants of civilizations that chose, or were forced, to build where the land meets the water. Radiocarbon dating and stylistic analysis date many of these temples to periods spanning from 2000 BCE to 500 CE, linking them to cultures known for maritime prowess and spiritual connection to the ocean. Historical records, though sparse, mention coastal shrines dedicated to deities of the sea, storms, and fertility, gods who governed the delicate balance between human life and nature's caprices. The temples appear to have served as places of worship, navigation, and community gathering, their architecture blending the terrestrial with the aquatic. Stone carvings depict scenes of sacrifice and celebration, ships embarking on voyages, and celestial bodies guiding travelers through darkness. Yet the vanishing temples resist easy explanation. Their very existence challenges conventional archaeological practice. Unlike cities or ports anchored firmly on land, these temples are subject to tidal forces, storms, and gradual submersion. Over centuries, many have been lost entirely, their stones scattered or buried beneath layers of sediment. Others emerge only briefly, their visibility dictated by lunar cycles and seasonal currents. This precarious state makes documentation and study a formidable task, leaving many questions unanswered. Why were these temples built so vulnerably, straddling the line between dry earth and encroaching sea? Were they symbols of devotion, defiance, or both? Some scholars argue that the builders intentionally embraced the tides, seeing the temples as living monuments that interacted with the ocean's moods. In this view, the regular submersion was part of a sacred ritual, a reminder of human fragility and nature's dominion. However, more pragmatic explanations exist. Rising sea levels, coastal erosion, and tectonic activity may have forced these temples into their liminal positions over centuries. Geological studies indicate that many of these sites were originally inland or on stable promontories before slowly succumbing to the advancing waters. Could natural disasters have hastened their partial disappearances, transforming once permanent sanctuaries into fleeting apparitions beneath the tides? Adding to the intrigue are reports from local communities who have preserved oral traditions surrounding these sites. Elders speak of voices of the sea heard near the temples, mysterious lights that flicker underwater, and apparitions seen at dawn or dusk. Divers describe sudden shifts in water temperature, unexplained currents, and an almost palpable presence that defies rational explanation. These accounts, while anecdotal, weave a rich tapestry of belief and experience, blending the spiritual with the mysterious. Artifacts recovered from the temples deepen the puzzle. Sculptures carved from rare stones, ceremonial vessels decorated with unknown scripts, and astrological charts etched into temple floors hint at advanced knowledge and complex cultural practices. Some inscriptions suggest connections to lost languages or secret societies, sparking debates among linguists and historians. Could these temples have been centers of hidden wisdom, repositories of knowledge now veiled by the tides? The physical layout of certain temples offers further mystery. Alignments with solstices, equinoxes, and celestial events suggest a sophisticated understanding of astronomy. But why couple this with a location so vulnerable to oceanic forces? Were the tides themselves part of a larger cosmological symbolism, embodying cycles of death and rebirth, destruction and renewal? More speculative theories extend beyond the terrestrial and historical. Some propose that the vanishing temples were built on sites of energetic convergence, places where Earth's magnetic fields and ocean currents interact uniquely. Could these locations have been chosen for their metaphysical properties, amplifying rituals or serving as gateways between realms? While such ideas remain on the fringe of academic acceptance, they invite us to consider dimensions of the ancient world we may barely grasp. Modern technology offers glimpses beneath the waves. Sonar mapping, underwater robotics, and 3D reconstruction have begun to reveal the temple's full scale and complexity. Yet, every image, every discovery, seems to deepen the enigma rather than resolve it. Layers of sediment hide chambers, corridors, and artifacts still waiting to be uncovered, their stories unread and their voices unheard. The vanishing temples of the tides stand as silent witnesses to the interplay of humanity and nature, permanence and transience. Their stones, weathered by salt and time, speak not only of ancient worship, but of loss and endurance. As we watch the tides reclaim these sacred spaces again and again, we are reminded of the limits of our knowledge and the vastness of what remains hidden beneath the surface. What truths lie submerged in the shifting sands and rolling waves? What histories are whispered only when the water pulls back, revealing fragments before they vanish once more? The temples invite us to ponder not only the civilizations that built them, but the mysteries that still ripple beneath the tides, waiting for patient eyes and open minds to discover their secrets. Flowing from the vanishing temples, where tides gently swallow ancient stones and secrets, we now descend into a realm even darker and more enigmatic, the silent walls of the abyss. Far beyond the sunlit shallows and forgotten shores lie the deepest trenches and underwater cliffs, where silence is absolute, and mysteries are etched not in words or carvings, but in cold, unyielding stone. Picture a world beneath the waves where light ceases to exist, replaced by an eternal night broken only by the faint glow of bioluminescent creatures drifting through the blackness. Here, towering walls of rock rise vertically from the ocean floor, their surfaces rough and uninviting, stretching miles into the abyssal plain. These formations are not natural coral reefs or sediment deposits, but massive monolithic structures, sometimes straight-edged, sometimes labyrinthine, suggesting a design that defies ordinary geological explanation. Scientists first recorded these silent walls during deep-sea exploration missions in the mid-20th century, their initial sonar scans revealing outlines so sharp and deliberate that many questioned their natural origin. Subsequent deep dives confirmed the presence of enormous stone facades, covered with encrusted marine life yet curiously devoid of the usual signs of gradual erosion. These walls challenge our understanding of tectonic activity, sedimentation, and volcanic formation, inviting a closer, more nuanced investigation. Radiometric dating of mineral deposits on the walls places their age at tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years, long before any known human civilization emerged. Yet the precision of some angles and the apparent patterning along certain surfaces hint at a possible artificial origin, or at least intervention. Could these silent walls be the remains of an ancient, submerged civilization? Or are they a geological anomaly shaped by forces we have yet to fully understand? Marine geologists suggest several explanations. One hypothesis proposes that the walls formed from rapid tectonic uplift followed by subsidence, creating vertical cliffs beneath the ocean. Another points to underwater volcanic activity, where lava cooled quickly into angular formations. Yet these theories do not easily account for the uniformity and scale of the structures, nor for peculiar markings found on some surfaces, lines and grids faintly visible beneath layers of sediment and marine growth. Echoing from these depths are puzzling acoustic anomalies. Research submarines and autonomous vehicles operating near the walls have recorded unusual sound patterns, low-frequency pulses and echoes that don't correspond to known geological or biological sources. Are these the whispers of shifting tectonic plates, or could they be something else entirely? The ocean's abyss is a vast, largely unexplored frontier, where silence may conceal signals we are only beginning to interpret. Beyond the scientific, the silent walls have entered the realm of legend and speculation. Deep-sea fishermen tell stories of strange currents that disorient compasses and cause instruments to fail near these formations. Some report glimpses of enormous, shadowy figures moving just beyond their lights, while divers speak of an oppressive stillness that feels almost sentient, as if the walls themselves watch silently. While anecdotal, such accounts enrich the mystery and suggest an intangible presence woven into the stone. More speculative theories propose that the silent walls are remnants of a pre-human intelligence or lost civilization, architectural in nature, intended perhaps as fortresses, temples, or even gateways. Could these structures have served as underwater cities, now buried under millennia of sediment and darkness? Or are they the product of natural forces operating in ways that challenge current geological models, reflecting the ocean's capacity to create forms that mimic human design? Another intriguing idea considers the walls as part of a global pattern. Similar underwater formations have been found in disparate locations: the Mariana Trench, the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, and the submerged continental shelves near Japan and Indonesia, suggesting a possible network of ancient structures or natural phenomena that span the ocean floor. If connected, what purpose could such an arrangement serve? Navigation markers, energy conduits, or something beyond our present understanding? Technological advances in deep-sea exploration continue to peel back the layers of this mystery. High-resolution mapping, submersible robotics, and remotely operated vehicles reveal details invisible to earlier missions. Yet, every discovery seems to deepen the enigma, exposing new questions even as others find tentative answers. The silent walls remain a puzzle where nature and perhaps history converge, their full story submerged beneath layers of salt, pressure, and time. As we consider these colossal, silent structures, we are reminded of the ocean's vastness and the limits of our knowledge. What secrets do the depths hold in these monolithic walls? What histories lie encoded in their stone surfaces, waiting for patient eyes and curious minds? The abyss is a place where silence speaks, not through words, but through presence. A quiet testament to mysteries still unresolved. What might the silent walls reveal if we listen closely enough? Are they the final echoes of an ancient world, or signs of phenomena yet beyond our grasp? The ocean guards its stories well, inviting us to explore, to question, and to wonder at what remains hidden, silent, and waiting in the depths. From the vast silence of the abyss and its towering stone sentinels, our journey leads us toward a contrasting spectacle, an expanse where sunlight dances through warm waters, where golden hues shimmer beneath the surface, and where mystery cloaks the shimmering depths of what has come to be known as the Golden Gulf. Imagine a wide, sunlit gulf framed by ancient coastlines, its waters tinted with a soft amber glow when struck by the setting sun. This region, renowned among mariners and scientists alike, holds a reputation not just for its striking beauty, but for the secrets it keeps hidden beneath its gilded waves. The Golden Gulf is not merely a geographical location. It is a place where history, nature, and the unknown converge. Explorations dating back several decades have revealed an intricate underwater landscape within this gulf. Here lie sprawling reefs that gleam with an almost unnatural luster, extensive sediment formations rich in minerals, and peculiar geological features that have drawn the attention of oceanographers worldwide. The clarity of the water allows sunlight to penetrate deeper than usual, creating an otherworldly glow that seems to illuminate the Gulf's hidden contours and shadows in equal measure. Early research identified the Gulf as a crucial habitat supporting diverse marine life, from coral species unique to this region to schools of fish that thrive in its warm embrace. However, the more scientists examined the Gulf's seabed, the more anomalies surfaced. Satellite imaging and submersible surveys uncovered unusual metallic deposits scattered unevenly across the ocean floor. Some appeared to cluster in patterns too deliberate to be random, resembling ruins or foundations rather than natural mineral veins. Historical documents hint at human activity in the Gulf's vicinity dating back thousands of years. Coastal settlements once flourished here, acting as hubs for trade and cultural exchange. Ancient texts refer to a golden waterway, a place where treasures flowed as freely as the tides and where seafarers navigated by the shifting light on the waves. Could some of these metallic deposits be remnants of lost ships, sunken cities, or forgotten industries that once harnessed the Gulf's resources? Among the recovered artifacts are items forged from alloys not common in known ancient metallurgy. Their craftsmanship suggests a civilization with advanced knowledge of materials and techniques. Yet no conclusive connection has been established between these artifacts and any documented culture. Are these remnants of an undiscovered society, or perhaps evidence of a forgotten chapter in human history? The Gulf also plays host to a number of unexplained phenomena. Fishermen and divers recount encounters with shimmering shapes darting just beyond vision, sometimes described as metallic or crystalline forms reflecting the golden light. Sonar readings occasionally pick up structures that seem to shift or rearrange themselves, confounding expectations of static underwater geology. Are these natural phenomena, the play of light and current, or manifestations of something more elusive? Environmental factors contribute to the Gulf's uniqueness. The region experiences unusual tidal flows and temperature gradients, influenced by both oceanic currents and subterranean geothermal vents. These conditions may impact sediment composition and mineral deposition, perhaps explaining some of the Gulf's oddities. Yet they also raise questions. How have these forces shaped the Gulf's underwater topography over millennia, and what role might they play in the mysterious patterns observed? Some theorists propose that the Golden Gulf was once home to a thriving civilization that harnessed the Gulf's natural riches for technological or spiritual purposes. Might the metallic clusters be remnants of early industry, perhaps related to mining, metalworking, or energy generation? Could the shimmering underwater formations be the ruins of temples or factories, designed to catch and amplify sunlight for unknown uses? More speculative ideas venture further into the realm of possibility. Some suggest that the Gulf's reflective properties and unusual energy signatures hint at natural phenomena that mimic, or even generate, light and metal in ways not yet fully understood. Could there be geological or biological processes creating these golden glimmers? Processes that challenge conventional science? Others draw on local legends of water spirits and golden guardians, tales passed down through generations, speaking of mysterious forces protecting hidden treasures or sacred sites beneath the Gulf. While such stories resist empirical verification, they remind us that human experience often weaves mystery into the fabric of place, inviting us to see beyond what is measurable. Modern technology continues to peel back layers of the Gulf's secrets. High-definition mapping, underwater drones, and chemical analysis provide ever more detailed views of this luminous realm. Yet, each answer uncovered seems to reveal new questions. The Gulf remains a landscape of paradoxes, at once vibrant and quiet, ancient and evolving, natural and enigmatic. As we gaze into the shimmering expanse of the Golden Gulf, we find ourselves confronting the limits of understanding. What lies beneath its glowing surface? Forgotten histories, natural marvels, or mysteries yet unimagined. The Gulf's golden light invites reflection, reminding us that the ocean's depths are not merely physical spaces, but repositories of stories still unfolding. What truths remain submerged in the gilded waters? How many secrets wait beneath the shifting sands and shimmering waves, hidden from sight yet calling to be discovered? The Golden Gulf, radiant and elusive, offers no easy answers, only the gentle, persistent invitation to look deeper, listen more closely, and wonder. From the shimmering secrets of the Golden Gulf, our journey now takes us deeper into the ocean's hidden chronicles, toward the haunting domain of the echoes from a submerged empire. This is a realm where history and myth intertwine beneath layers of water and sediment, a place where the remnants of a once mighty civilization may still whisper beneath the waves, waiting for discovery. Picture the scene: a vast underwater plateau stretching quietly and invisibly beneath the ocean's surface, dotted with the ruins of structures half buried in silt and coral. Sunlight filters faintly through the water, illuminating broken pillars, eroded statues, and the skeletal remains of streets laid out in deliberate grids. It is a tableau of silence and stillness, an empire's ghost city, submerged and preserved by the sea's embrace. Historical interest in these underwater ruins first surged in the late 20th century, when advances in sonar mapping and submersible technology allowed explorers to peer where no human had before. Located off certain coastal regions, though their precise locations remain closely guarded, the ruins sparked excitement and skepticism alike. Scholars recognized architectural styles resembling those of known ancient civilizations, yet their placement beneath the ocean raised profound questions. What could have caused a thriving city, complete with temples, public squares, and residential districts, to become swallowed by the sea? Geological evidence points to powerful natural events, tectonic shifts, earthquakes, and rising sea levels, capable of rapidly altering landscapes. Yet the speed and scale of submersion, along with the apparent preservation of certain features, suggest a complex interplay between nature and human history. Excavations and underwater surveys have uncovered artifacts, ceramics, tools, ornamental objects that reveal a sophisticated society with extensive trade networks and cultural achievements. Written records, where decipherable, hint at a civilization advanced in engineering, astronomy, and governance. Yet no definitive name or clear lineage has been established for this submerged empire, leaving its identity tantalizingly elusive. This mystery is compounded by discrepancies in dating methods and stratigraphy. Some ruins appear to be tens of thousands of years old, predating known civilizations by millennia, while others align more closely with classical antiquity. How could multiple epochs converge in a single submerged site? Might this indicate successive layers of habitation, or have rising seas submerged various settlements over vast periods? Beyond the physical evidence lie unexplained phenomena. Deep-diving explorers report unusual electromagnetic readings near the ruins, fields that interfere with instruments and sometimes cause inexplicable electronic glitches. Acoustic studies reveal faint rhythmic pulses emanating from certain structures, resembling distant chanting or mechanical hums. Could these be natural resonances amplified by architecture, or signs of long-dormant technology? Local legends add layers of narrative richness. Coastal communities speak of an ancient kingdom lost to the sea, a place of grandeur and tragedy. Stories tell of cities swallowed in a single night, their people vanishing beneath the waves as a warning or punishment from the gods. While such tales resist historical confirmation, they echo a universal theme of impermanence and the ocean's power to erase and preserve in equal measure. More speculative theories extend the mystery into realms both fascinating and controversial. Some propose the Submerged Empire was the cradle of early advanced technology, possibly even predating known human history. Others suggest links to mythic lands like Atlantis or Lemuria, places described in ancient texts and folklore, but never verified archaeologically. Could the ruins be the remains of such lost worlds, or do these stories merely reflect human yearning to explain the unknown? Some researchers posit that the submerged city was part of a global network of maritime cultures, sharing knowledge and resources across vast distances. This could explain similarities in architectural motifs and artifacts found in distant underwater sites. Were these early seafarers more connected than previously thought, navigating oceans with skill and purpose, leaving behind traces now hidden by time and tide? Technological advances continue to enhance our understanding. High-resolution imaging, sediment analysis, and underwater robotics peel back layers of sediment and myth, revealing details with unprecedented clarity. Yet each discovery seems to deepen the enigma. What was the Empire's true nature? Why was it lost to history? And what other secrets might still lie concealed in the deep? As we consider the silent streets and shattered temples beneath the waves, we are drawn into a meditation on time, loss, and discovery. The ocean, vast and unknowable, guards its stories jealously, revealing fragments while concealing the whole. The echoes from this submerged empire remind us that beneath the surface of our known world lies a deeper history, complex, mysterious, and still unfolding. What truths await in the silent depths, preserved in stone and story? How many chapters of human history remain hidden beneath waves and sediment, waiting for patient explorers to listen to their echoes? The Submerged Empire invites us to look beyond what we see, to question what we know, and to wonder at the ocean's enduring mysteries. From the echoing silence of a submerged empire, our path now drifts toward a phenomenon even more subtle, yet no less compelling: lost roads beneath the ocean. These hidden pathways, etched into the sea floor or lying buried beneath layers of sediment, offer a tantalizing glimpse into the movements and connections of ancient worlds now swallowed by the depths. Imagine the ocean floor as a vast canvas, modeled and textured with natural formations, ridges, valleys, and plateaus. Amid this rugged landscape, careful sonar mapping and deep-sea explorations have revealed something unexpected. Linear, often remarkably straight lines, some stretching for miles, others forming intersections or networked grids. Unlike natural underwater features, these lines bear the unmistakable hallmarks of constructed roads or pathways, long thought impossible beneath the waves. The discovery of these lost roads began in the late 20th century, as advances in sonar and satellite technology enabled archaeologists and geologists to peer with unprecedented detail beneath the ocean surface. Initial findings showed what appeared to be paved or carved tracks running along continental shelves, submerged river valleys, or connecting isolated underwater features. These formations were puzzling. They resembled highways or trade routes rather than natural geological formations. Some of the best-known examples lie off coastlines where rising sea levels over thousands of years have submerged once inhabited areas. Along the shores of the Black Sea, for instance, researchers have documented what might be ancient roadways leading to now submerged settlements. Similar patterns have been observed near Japan, the Mediterranean, and even parts of the Caribbean. Could these pathways have once been arteries of commerce, migration, or communication? Scientific consensus explains many of these formations as remnants of prehistoric human activity, dating back to periods when sea levels were significantly lower, during the last ice age, for example. Coastal communities would have used these routes to travel and trade, unaware that millennia later, their roads would sink beneath the waves. Yet the nature and construction of some of these pathways challenge straightforward explanations. Certain submerged roads are remarkably straight and wide, extending across terrain that would have been difficult to navigate or construct upon in ancient times. Their surfaces sometimes show signs of deliberate paving, stone alignment, or carving, rather than mere trails beaten by foot traffic or animals. In some places, what appear to be bridges or causeways cross underwater canyons or depressions, further suggesting sophisticated engineering. Beyond physical characteristics, anomalies arise in the locations and orientations of these lost roads. Why do some lead directly toward deep-sea trenches or end abruptly in open water? Could some of these termini mark harbors, ports, or places now lost to time? Do they align with astronomical phenomena or serve spiritual or ritualistic purposes, as roads and processional ways often did on land? More enigmatic still are reports of unusual electromagnetic readings near certain submerged paths. Some researchers suggest these could be due to mineral deposits or unique geological compositions, while others speculate about the presence of long-buried artifacts or even energy fields generated by unknown technologies. Are these echoes of ancient infrastructure or natural phenomena mimicking man-made patterns? Local lore and oral traditions sometimes echo the idea of lost roads beneath the waves. Coastal cultures speak of paths to the other side, of ancestors who walked where now only fish swim. Tales of cities lost in cataclysms often mention roads swallowed by the sea, and while these stories cannot be taken as fact, they enrich the tapestry of mystery that surrounds these underwater routes. Speculative theories extend further, proposing that some of these submerged roads connect to lost continents or sunken civilizations, such as the fabled Atlantis or Lemuria. Could these pathways have been part of vast networks connecting islands and continents that vanished in prehistoric times? Do they point to an advanced knowledge of geography and engineering now lost to history? Archaeologists continue to debate the origins and purposes of these submerged roads. Are they remnants of trade routes, pilgrimage paths, military roads, or infrastructure built for purposes now unfathomable? Could some have been constructed for symbolic or ceremonial reasons rather than practical travel? Technology plays a crucial role in uncovering these mysteries. Autonomous underwater vehicles, 3D mapping, and sediment analysis reveal details invisible to earlier explorers. Each mission brings new clues, yet the more we learn, the more questions arise. How extensive are these networks? How do they relate to known ancient civilizations? And what stories do they tell about human adaptation to changing climates and landscapes? As we consider the lost roads beneath the ocean, we are reminded of how much remains hidden beneath the waves. These silent pathways evoke the movement of peoples long vanished, the rise and fall of civilizations, and the relentless march of time that reshapes the Earth's surface. The ocean floor, often seen as an empty abyss, in fact preserves traces of journeys taken, connections made, and histories waiting to be understood. What secrets lie along these submerged roads? How many stories remain untold, etched into stone and sediment, far from human eyes? The paths beneath the waves invite us to imagine, to investigate, and to wonder at the depth and complexity of our shared past. Hidden, silent, but never truly lost. From the winding lost roads beneath the ocean floor, our exploration now turns toward a more enigmatic chapter, the shadows of the sunken isles. These are not merely fragments of land swallowed by rising tides, but entire archipelagos cloaked in mystery, their histories obscured by time and the depths that conceal them. Picture a cluster of islands once rising proudly above the sea, their silhouettes etched against the horizon, alive with human activity and natural beauty. Now, these isles lie submerged, their peaks reduced to underwater hills or completely vanished beneath shifting sands. The waters above shimmer deceptively calm, belying the stories that ripple just beneath the surface. The phenomenon of sunken isles is well documented across various oceans, from the submerged banks off the coasts of Japan's Ryukyu Islands to the lost islands recorded in Pacific lore and the mysterious landforms beneath the Baltic Sea. Scientific investigations reveal that many such isles succumbed to gradual sea level rise after the last ice age, while others vanished suddenly due to earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or landslides. Bathymetric mapping and sonar imaging have uncovered striking evidence of these once inhabited lands. Ancient shorelines appear as terraces below the present sea level. Submerged forests and peat beds speak of landscapes once teeming with life. In some areas, foundations of structures, walls, and even roads emerge from the depths, hinting at human presence. These discoveries open a window into a time when the boundaries between land and sea were quite different from today. But the shadows cast by these sunken isles reach beyond geological records. Folklore and myth often fill the gaps left by science, speaking of lost civilizations, forgotten cultures, and cataclysmic events. Many coastal peoples recount tales of islands that vanished overnight, cities swallowed by the sea, their inhabitants lost to watery graves. Are these stories allegories, warnings, or memories of real events passed down through generations? Among the more studied cases is a submerged archipelago in the Indian Ocean, believed to have existed thousands of years ago. Underwater archaeological work has revealed stone formations resembling defensive walls and platforms, some covered in coral yet unmistakably shaped by human hands. Radiocarbon dating places these structures in a period coinciding with known migrations and cultural shifts on nearby continents. These findings suggest the sunken isles may have played significant roles in early human history, centers of trade, culture, or spiritual practice. Could these islands have been hubs connecting distant civilizations, now lost beneath waves? The prospect invites reflection on how much history lies hidden, reshaped by nature's vast and slow forces. The mystery deepens with reports of unusual underwater anomalies around these sites. Some divers and researchers speak of strange acoustic echoes, sounds that resemble voices or musical tones, though no known biological or mechanical source has been identified. Others note magnetic disturbances interfering with navigation instruments. Are these echoes the ocean's way of preserving memory, or merely tricks of physics? Speculative ideas flourish in this fertile ground of unanswered questions. Some propose that these sunken isles might be remnants of advanced prehistoric cultures, possessing knowledge lost to time. Others link them to mythic lands like Atlantis, suggesting that oral traditions may encode fragments of historical truth obscured by millennia. Could some of these isles have been deliberately submerged, victims of ancient cataclysms or perhaps intentional acts for reasons still beyond our grasp? Or might they represent a natural cycle of land rising and falling, a rhythm of Earth's geology intersecting with human fate? Scientific exploration continues to push boundaries. New technologies like autonomous underwater vehicles, 3D scanning, and sediment analysis bring us closer to understanding these submerged landscapes. Yet each discovery raises more questions than it answers. How extensive were these islands before they sank? What cultures thrived there? And what stories lie buried in the silence of the deep? As we peer into the shadows of these sunken isles, we confront the interplay between memory and mystery, history and myth. The ocean, vast and inscrutable, serves as both guardian and graveyard, preserving evidence while obscuring context. It reminds us that our planet's surface is not fixed, but fluid, shaped by forces both seen and unseen. What truths remain hidden beneath the tranquil waves? How many lost worlds await rediscovery, their stories submerged but not forgotten? The shadows of the sunken isles beckon us to listen carefully to the whispers of water and stone, and to wonder what histories still lie just beyond reach, waiting patiently to emerge from the depths. From the elusive shadows of sunken isles, our journey now brings us to a singular, haunting enigma, the city that sleeps underwater. It is a place where silence reigns and time seems to pause beneath the weight of the ocean, a city once vibrant with life, now cloaked in the stillness of the deep. Imagine descending through cold, dark waters, the sunlight growing dimmer with each passing meter, until suddenly, before the eyes of the submersible or diver, rises the outline of a sprawling urban landscape. Towers and domes, broad plazas, and carefully laid streets stretch out like a ghostly labyrinth, all frozen beneath layers of water and marine growth. Coral has taken root in stone crevices, fish weave through empty windows. This is a city submerged, not a ruin scattered over land, but an entire metropolis lying dormant beneath the waves. Historical records, oral traditions, and modern technology have all contributed to the unfolding story of this underwater city. Located in an area of active tectonic activity, the site was first detected through sonar surveys and later explored with remotely operated vehicles. Initial findings reveal structures consistent with sophisticated urban planning, including residential quarters, public buildings, and what may have been marketplaces or places of governance. Dating techniques suggest that the city was inhabited several thousand years ago, during a period when sea levels were lower and the coastline extended much further. Geological studies indicate that a sudden and catastrophic event, possibly an earthquake followed by a tsunami, could have caused the rapid submersion of the city, catching its inhabitants unprepared. Yet, some features challenge this simple explanation. Certain architectural elements seem unusually well preserved despite the passage of millennia, hinting at materials or construction techniques that defy conventional understanding. Furthermore, artifacts recovered from the site include objects made of metals and ceramics, unlike those typically associated with the known cultures of the region and era. These findings raise questions about the city's origins and the identity of its builders. While archaeologists generally agree on the city's historicity, there remains debate about its precise role and significance. Was it a major trading hub, a cultural or religious center, or perhaps a strategic outpost connecting distant regions? The discovery of inscriptions in an undeciphered script adds another layer of mystery, suggesting a lost language or a culture yet to be fully understood. The underwater city also presents unexplained phenomena. Divers have reported fleeting glimpses of light or movement beyond their instruments' reach, sensations of being observed, or inexplicable shifts in temperature and pressure. Some sonar scans detect irregularities, structures that seem to shimmer or vanish briefly, as if caught between dimensions. Are these manifestations of natural phenomena, psychological effects of isolation, or something more enigmatic? Local legends often describe a city swallowed by the sea as a divine punishment or a refuge for those fleeing calamity. Tales of spirits and guardians of the sunken city abound, echoing a common motif found in coastal cultures worldwide. These narratives, while unverifiable, provide cultural context that enriches our understanding of how human societies interpret loss and memory. Speculative theories abound, ranging from hypotheses of an advanced prehistorical civilization with technology lost to time to suggestions of extraterrestrial involvement or parallel dimensions intersecting with our reality. While such ideas are far from mainstream acceptance, they illustrate the profound impact this underwater city has had on imagination and inquiry alike. Scientific exploration continues with growing sophistication. Autonomous underwater vehicles equipped with high-resolution cameras, 3D mapping tools, and sediment analysis capabilities allow researchers to piece together the city's layout and history with increasing detail. Each expedition reveals new structures, artifacts, and environmental data that deepen the enigma. As we contemplate the city that sleeps underwater, we are invited to reflect on the impermanence of human achievement and the ocean's power to preserve and conceal. This city is a silent witness to civilizations long past, a reminder that beneath the familiar surface of our world lies a realm of mysteries still unfolding. What stories do the submerged streets hold? How much of human history remains submerged, waiting for the patient eye and the curious mind? The sleeping city beckons us to look beyond the horizon, to listen to the quiet pulse of the deep, and to wonder what truths might yet emerge from its watery grave. From the silent sprawl of a sunken city, our journey now leads us to an even more enigmatic phenomenon: the deep stone circles. Scattered across the ocean floor in disparate locations, some clustered, others solitary, these formations of large, precisely placed stones form geometric patterns that defy easy explanation. They are neither random deposits nor obvious remnants of natural geological processes. Instead, they stand as deliberate constructions, an ancient language written in stone, submerged beneath the vast and unknowable sea. Imagine descending through dark, frigid waters, your path lit only by the beam of your submersible's spotlight. As the light sweeps over the seafloor, it reveals a series of towering stones arranged in circular formations, perfectly rounded, some measuring several meters in diameter, others small enough to fit in the palm of a hand. These stone circles are often accompanied by alignments that suggest astronomical orientation, hinting at an awareness of the stars, even in these sunken depths. The discovery of these stone circles was first made during deep-sea surveys aimed at mapping the ocean's topography and identifying archaeological sites. What initially appeared as curious anomalies soon drew the attention of marine geologists and archaeologists alike. Careful analysis has confirmed that these structures are not natural, showing tool marks and placement patterns consistent with human craftsmanship. Radiometric dating and sediment analysis suggest that these formations could be tens of thousands of years old, predating most known underwater archaeological sites. This timeline places their construction in a period when sea levels were dramatically lower, and many of these areas would have been dry land or shallow coastal zones. Yet questions remain. Who built these circles, and for what purpose? Some researchers propose that the deep stone circles served as ritual or ceremonial sites, places where early humans gathered to mark significant events, observe celestial phenomena, or connect with spiritual forces. This interpretation finds echoes in terrestrial megalithic sites such as Stonehenge or the Karnak stones, monuments whose precise functions remain debated but whose cultural significance is undeniable. Others suggest more practical purposes. Could these circles have been markers or navigational aids, guiding seafarers across dangerous coastal waters? Might they have functioned as territorial boundaries, signaling ownership or control of valuable resources? The stone alignment's apparent correlation with solstices or lunar cycles lends some weight to these ideas. But the mystery deepens with reports of stone circles in locations far removed from human habitation in known history, some lying at depths considered inaccessible or inhospitable. How could such remote underwater formations have been created without advanced technology or diving capabilities? This question opens the door to alternative theories. One line of speculation entertains the possibility of an ancient, now lost civilization with maritime capabilities far exceeding what archaeology currently recognizes. Could such a civilization have built these stone circles as part of a wider network of underwater monuments? Or might these formations be the result of unknown geological phenomena that mimic human construction, creating a natural illusion of design? In some cases, divers have described subtle luminescence emanating from certain stones, a faint glow that seems to pulse with an unexplainable rhythm. Scientific instruments have yet to verify these claims, but they add a layer of intrigue to the enigma, evoking questions about the interaction between mineral composition, marine life, and perhaps even undiscovered physical properties. Folklore from coastal communities occasionally references circles of stones beneath the waves. Stories that speak of mystical gatherings, portals between worlds, or places where the sea meets the spirit realm. While these tales are often dismissed as myth, they reflect humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown and the symbolic power of circular shapes. Modern technology continues to uncover new stone circles, each discovery expanding the puzzle. Advanced sonar mapping, 3D imaging, and underwater excavation reveal intricate details, carvings, subtle patterns, even interconnected pathways that hint at complexity beyond initial impressions. As we reflect on the enigma of the deep stone circles, we confront a paradox. These silent monuments, shaped by hands long vanished, speak volumes without uttering a word. They invite us to ponder the limits of our knowledge, the endurance of memory beneath the sea, and the vastness of what remains unseen. What stories do these stone circles hold? Are they the remnants of forgotten cultures, cosmic observatories, or natural wonders yet to be understood? As the ocean quietly guards its secrets, we are left to wonder. How many more mysteries lie waiting on the ocean floor, their true meanings just beyond our reach, whispering in stone and shadow? From the quiet enigma of deep stone circles, we now descend further, both literally and metaphorically, into the shadows of the ocean's most perplexing architectural curiosities, the hidden stairways to nowhere. These submerged staircases, discovered scattered across various continental shelves and deep-sea trenches, present a haunting puzzle. They rise and fall in abrupt sequences, leading to what appears to be no destination, dissolving mysteriously into the sand, rock, or abyssal plain. They are both tangible and intangible, visible yet elusive, inviting us to explore not only their physical form, but the deeper questions they pose about human history, memory, and the ocean's hidden chapters. Picture the moment a submersible's lights catch the edges of a wide, meticulously carved staircase, the steps worn smooth by time and encrusted with coral and marine growth. The stairs descend gently into shadow, but after a certain point, they abruptly end, not at a doorway, not at a platform, but simply disappearing into the seafloor. In some cases, stairways emerge from unexpected places, carved directly into underwater cliffs, embedded in sediment slopes, or even rising seemingly out of flat plains of sand. Their geometry and craftsmanship suggest human hands, yet their context and ultimate purpose remain frustratingly out of reach. These hidden stairways were first brought to light during deep-sea archaeological surveys employing advanced sonar and remotely operated vehicles, ROVs. As technology advanced, explorers documented more such structures across disparate regions, from the Mediterranean's ancient submerged coastlines to the remote and dark depths of the Pacific Ocean. What makes these stairways especially compelling is their apparent lack of practical use in a modern or even ancient sense. Unlike ramps or docks meant for boats or passageways into underwater caves or ruins, these stairways seemingly lead nowhere, ending abruptly in blankness or crushing depths. Scholars studying these staircases have proposed several explanations grounded in historical and geological evidence. Some suggest they may have been parts of once thriving coastal cities or temples built during periods of lower sea levels that became submerged due to rising oceans and seismic shifts. The abrupt ends of these stairs could be explained by natural collapses, sediment accumulation, or tectonic upheaval. Yet, this explanation doesn't fully satisfy all observations. Many stairways show little evidence of damage or gradual sediment coverage, and some even appear perfectly preserved, as if frozen in time. Another prevailing theory is that these stairways had symbolic or ceremonial significance, constructed not for physical passage, but as metaphysical or spiritual conduits. In various cultures, stairways often represent transition between worlds, states of being, or dimensions. Could these underwater staircases have been intended as sacred pathways to the afterlife, gateways to the unknown, or even markers of cosmic alignment? And if so, why build such structures in places that would later be submerged and hidden for millennia? There are also more speculative ideas that stretch the boundaries of conventional archaeology. Some researchers propose that the stairways were part of a vast, interconnected underwater network, remnants of an ancient civilization whose knowledge of the seas and subterranean realms was far greater than we currently understand. Could these stairs have been entrances to submerged vaults or secret chambers now lost to time? Or perhaps they were part of an elaborate signaling system, guiding seafarers or inhabitants through a now-vanished world. Intriguingly, certain stairways seem to defy the natural laws of their environment. Some have been found in locations with unusual magnetic or acoustic properties, which affect navigation equipment and communication devices. Divers report sensations of disorientation, inexplicable cold spots, or faint echoes resembling distant chants or mechanical sounds when near these staircases. Could these experiences be purely psychological, or might they hint at unknown physical phenomena tied to the stairways themselves? Ancient maritime myths and local folklore sometimes echo these discoveries. Coastal communities speak of paths to the gods, stairs to the sea spirits, or steps swallowed by the ocean. These stories, while often poetic or allegorical, suggest a deep human connection to the ocean's mysteries and perhaps a collective memory of these submerged structures. The hidden stairways to nowhere continue to be mapped and studied with the latest technological advances. Sonar imaging, submersible exploration, and sediment sampling gradually build a more detailed picture, but every new discovery seems to multiply questions rather than provide definitive answers. The ocean remains an archive of untold histories, some visible but veiled beneath layers of water and time. As we come from the silent, somber stairways that descend into the unknown, our voyage takes us eastward, into a realm where nature and mystery intertwine beneath the waves, the drowned garden of the East. Here, in the shadowy depths of an ancient seabed, lies a sprawling underwater expanse unlike any other, an eerie mosaic of what appears to be organized, living growth and delicate stone arrangements, a submerged landscape that seems to blend cultivated design with wild marine life. It is a place where the boundary between natural wonder and human influence blurs, inviting us to ponder what secrets the ocean may have swallowed long ago. Imagine descending through cool, quiet waters into a submerged valley where shafts of filtered sunlight play upon a vast garden of coral and stone, yet arranged with a distinct, almost deliberate order. Rows of what look like petrified tree trunks stretch out in parallel lines, interspersed with curious circular formations and terraces covered in colorful algae and soft corals. This is not just a reef. It is something more structured, something that hints at design and purpose. The drowned garden's outlines suggest an ancient landscape once teeming with human activity, now reclaimed and transformed by the sea. The first records of this submerged garden date back to exploratory dives conducted by marine archaeologists in the early 21st century. Sonar mapping initially detected geometric patterns on the seafloor, sparking speculation about the presence of a lost civilization or an ancient settlement engulfed by rising tides. Subsequent underwater expeditions revealed terraces, walls, and what some have described as garden beds, areas where coral growth seemed to follow lines and curves inconsistent with random natural formations. Scientific analysis confirms that much of the structure's basis is geological, natural formations sculpted by shifting currents and sediment deposits over millennia. Yet overlaying these are signs of human interference: carved stone blocks, carefully placed foundation stones, and artifact fragments hinting at a once thriving community. The proximity to ancient river deltas supports theories that this region was once fertile land, supporting agriculture and settlement before gradual sea level rise swallowed it whole. But what truly distinguishes the drowned garden of the East is the delicate balance it maintains between human construction and organic growth. Some of the terraces, initially thought to be ruins of agricultural plots, have become coral gardens of astonishing biodiversity. In these waters, life flourishes among the remains, transforming what might have been simple stonework into vibrant ecosystems. This interplay of culture and nature challenges us to reconsider the ways human history and natural history can merge, especially beneath the waves. As with many submerged sites, the timeline here is difficult to pin down precisely. Radiocarbon dating of sediment layers indicates that the garden may have been active between 8,000 and 12,000 years ago, a period coinciding with significant climatic shifts and the gradual submersion of many coastal areas worldwide. It's a snapshot of an era when humans were adapting to rising seas, shifting landscapes, and changing resources. Yet, as intriguing as these findings are, they are shadowed by unanswered questions. Why was this garden laid out in such precise rows and terraces? Was it a literal garden, a place of cultivation for food or ritual plants? Or perhaps a symbolic landscape meant to represent something greater? Could it have been a sacred space, a kind of sanctuary submerged in time? Some researchers propose that the drowned garden was part of a network of coastal settlements linked by maritime routes, a series of communities shaped by the rhythms of the sea and the cycles of tides. Others speculate that it was a deliberate attempt to manage and enhance natural resources, an ancient aquaculture system blending stonework with coral growth to sustain food supplies. The presence of stone carvings resembling ancient scripts and iconography adds another layer of mystery. While some believe these to be early examples of proto-writing, others suggest they may be territorial markers or even early artistic expressions, now blurred by centuries of underwater erosion. In the realm of more speculative thought, a few voices entertain the possibility that the garden was designed with celestial alignments in mind, functioning as an ancient observatory or calendar tied to the sun and moon's cycles. The garden's terraces and stone circles, they argue, might correspond to solstices or lunar events, suggesting a sophisticated understanding of astronomy embedded in its very layout. Yet these theories remain tentative, as many features defy straightforward interpretation. Some terraces appear deliberately unfinished. Others show signs of destruction or collapse not fully explained by natural causes. Could these marks be evidence of ancient conflicts, environmental catastrophes, or even ritual abandonment? The drowned garden of the East thus stands as a profound symbol of our ongoing quest to understand the past, both human and environmental. It reminds us that beneath the waves lie stories of resilience, adaptation, and transformation, where stone and coral intertwine to form landscapes both ancient and alive. As we gaze upon these silent terraces and shifting gardens, we are invited to reflect on the fragile line between memory and oblivion. What truths lie buried beneath the garden's tangled branches and layered stones? What voices, long muted by the ocean's embrace, might still echo through this submerged sanctuary? In the quiet depths of the drowned garden, the mystery endures, waiting patiently for those who dare to explore, to listen, and to wonder what secrets the sea has yet to reveal. From the quiet, enigmatic depths of the drowned garden of the East, our journey now leads us further into the veiled waters of the Sea of Mist, a place where light dims beneath a perpetual shroud of suspended particles. and the ocean floor reveals a haunting tableau known as the Ruins, beneath the sea of mist. Here, submerged stone relics emerge like ghostly echoes from a forgotten world, their outlines softened and blurred by currents and sediment. The very name Sea of Mist evokes a sense of mystery and timelessness, an underwater realm where history seems suspended, waiting to be uncovered but never fully revealed. Descending into these murky depths, one is struck first by the play of shadow and form, a labyrinth of ancient walls, broken columns, and vast plazas encrusted with coral and marine growth. The ruins span a considerable area, their architecture unlike any known coastal settlement. Massive blocks of stone, some etched with indecipherable symbols, rest in patterns that hint at deliberate construction, not the random scatter of geological upheaval. This submerged cityscape defies simple categorization, suggesting a civilization or culture whose identity remains tantalizingly out of reach. The first documentation of these ruins surfaced in the late 20th century, when deep-sea exploration technology advanced enough to probe beyond previously inaccessible depths. Sonar scans revealed strange geometric formations beneath the sediment, and subsequent dives confirmed the presence of structures that seemed too regular to be natural. Archaeologists and marine geologists cautiously mapped the site, drawing parallels to ancient urban layouts, but noting its unique features: wide avenues paved with large stones, amphitheater-like structures, and peculiar stairways leading into what appeared to be vast subterranean chambers. Radiometric dating of nearby sediment layers suggests that these ruins may be over 10,000 years old, placing them within the late Pleistocene epoch. This era, marked by fluctuating sea levels and shifting climates, saw the gradual submergence of many coastal regions worldwide. Yet how a settlement of such scale and sophistication could have vanished so thoroughly beneath the waves remains a question wrapped in uncertainty. Among the verified facts is the presence of artifacts, tools, pottery fragments, and carved stones discovered in and around the site. These finds indicate an advanced community engaged in diverse activities, from craftsmanship to trade. Yet the language or symbology inscribed on some stones remains undeciphered, resisting all attempts at translation. What stories might these symbols hold? Could they tell of trade routes, religious beliefs, or historical events now lost to time? As with many ancient ruins lost to the sea, natural explanations abound. Shifting tectonic plates, sudden floods, and rising sea levels offer plausible reasons for the submergence. Geological surveys show evidence of powerful underwater currents that may have accelerated erosion and altered the landscape significantly after abandonment. Yet some features challenge these straightforward narratives. For instance, certain walls show signs of intentional collapse, stones carefully displaced rather than randomly scattered. Could this indicate conflict, deliberate demolition, or ritual closure of a city? What might have driven its inhabitants to such drastic measures? These questions open doors to less conventional theories, where human agency and environmental forces intertwine in complex, not fully understood ways. Among the more speculative ideas is the possibility that the Sea of Mist ruins were part of a wider, interconnected network of coastal cities, perhaps linked by sea routes and cultural exchange long before recorded history. Some researchers suggest that these ruins may represent the remnants of a proto-urban civilization, one that developed sophisticated architecture and social organization under environmental pressures now largely erased from the historical record. Others entertain even more enigmatic hypotheses. Could these structures be vestiges of a forgotten culture with advanced knowledge of maritime engineering, capable of adapting to rising waters in ways we have yet to comprehend? Might the submerged chambers have functioned as ceremonial sites, repositories of knowledge, or even early scientific observatories? there is also the allure of myth and legend that surrounds the Sea of Mist region. Local folklore speaks of a lost kingdom swallowed by the ocean, a place cursed or protected by ancient forces. While such tales often resist verification, they reflect a human need to explain and personify natural phenomena that defy simple understanding. Could these stories contain kernels of truth about the people who once walked these streets? Or are they mere echoes of our collective imagination shaped by centuries of wonder and fear? Technological limitations continue to hinder a full understanding of the ruins. The low visibility, strong currents, and fragile ecosystem make deep exploration difficult and risky. Advanced mapping and imaging techniques offer glimpses beneath the sediment, but much remains hidden beneath layers of silt and coral. As the ocean slowly reclaims what was once dry land, time itself acts as a veil, obscuring and preserving in equal measure. The ruins, beneath the sea of mist, compel us to consider the impermanence of human endeavor in the face of nature's vast forces. They are a silent testament to civilizations risen and fallen, their voices submerged but not silenced. What lessons might lie encoded in their stones? What knowledge, culture, or wisdom has slipped beneath the tides, waiting for patient discovery? As we linger on the edges of this sunken city, watching the gentle sway of marine life weaving through fractured walls, we are reminded that every discovery beneath the waves brings with it new mysteries. The ruins do not yield their secrets easily. Instead, they invite contemplation and curiosity. What truly happened here in the Sea of Mist? How did this city come to rest beneath the ocean's embrace? And what might still remain hidden in the shadows of its submerged streets? These questions, much like the ruins themselves, remain open, waiting for the next expedition, the next insight, or perhaps the quiet passing of time to reveal what lies beneath. From the sunken pathways and mist-shrouded ruins we have just explored, our attention now turns to one of the deep sea's most elusive enigmas, the vaults of the vanished civilization. These vaults, hidden in the darker recesses of the ocean floor, conjure images of sealed chambers and secret repositories, preserved beneath crushing pressure and layers of sediment. They beckon to us as guardians of forgotten knowledge, tantalizing fragments of a society lost to time and tide, offering a silent invitation to uncover what remains concealed beneath the waves. The vaults themselves appear as an assemblage of massive, precisely shaped stone blocks arranged in enigmatic configurations. Unlike the sprawling ruins or scattered artifacts that have become familiar to ocean explorers, these vaults are concentrated, compact, and unmistakably artificial. Their smooth surfaces, sharp edges, and symmetrical patterns suggest a high degree of architectural intent, an intentional design with a purpose we can only begin to speculate upon. The initial discovery of these underwater vaults came relatively recently, as advances in deep-sea submersible technology and sonar mapping enabled researchers to penetrate greater depths with unprecedented precision. Remote-operated vehicles revealed chambers that seemed hermetically sealed, vault-like in their construction, with no obvious entry points. Some vaults appear buried beneath layers of sediment, as if time itself sought to entomb whatever secrets they hold. Scientific investigations have uncovered a handful of clues. The vaults contain objects and inscriptions whose meanings remain undeciphered, including artifacts fashioned from materials rarely found in known ancient civilizations. Some of these materials exhibit peculiar properties, sparking curiosity about the level of technological sophistication possessed by their creators. Radiocarbon dating and sediment analysis place the origin of the vaults thousands of years ago, perhaps aligning with periods of significant climatic upheaval or geological shifts. Yet, despite careful study, much about these vaults resists explanation. What was their function? Were they burial chambers, treasuries, places of worship, or something altogether different? The absence of clear entryways raises questions about how these spaces were accessed, and by whom. Could they have been sealed deliberately, meant to be forgotten or protected from the outside world? Mainstream archaeology tends to interpret these vaults as ceremonial or funerary in nature, a hypothesis supported by parallels drawn with above-ground burial sites and ancient temples. The presence of ornate carvings and symbolic motifs suggests a spiritual or ritual significance. However, the vault's unusual location, deep beneath the ocean floor, and the technical mastery required to construct them underwater complicate these interpretations. This brings us to the realm of speculation, where possibilities expand, but definitive answers retreat. Some propose that these vaults belonged to a civilization capable of surviving or adapting to dramatic environmental changes, perhaps anticipating the rise in sea levels that would submerge their settlements. Could they have served as time capsules, safeguarding knowledge, technology, or cultural artifacts for future generations? If so, what motivated such foresight? Others entertain more unconventional ideas, considering the possibility of unknown or lost technologies that allowed for underwater construction beyond our current understanding. Could the vaults have been designed with advanced engineering to withstand millennia beneath shifting tectonic plates and relentless marine forces? Some fringe theories even speculate about contact with extraterrestrial visitors or an ancient advanced species, hypotheses that, while fascinating, remain outside the purview of accepted science. The lack of human records or oral histories referencing these vaults deepens the mystery. How could a civilization capable of erecting such structures leave no trace in the annals of known history? Was their story erased by cataclysmic events? Or did they exist parallel to documented cultures, unknown and unseen, until rediscovered by modern technology? The ecological context adds another layer of intrigue. Marine biologists note the unique ecosystems that have developed around these vaults. Species of coral, fish, and other organisms that seem to thrive in their shadows. These life forms may themselves hold clues, their evolution intertwined with the vault's history. Do these ecosystems represent millions of years of coexistence, or are they more recent arrivals attracted to the structures? Could biological markers within these species help date the vaults or reveal environmental changes over time? Exploration efforts face daunting challenges. The depth and pressure of the vault's locations demand sophisticated equipment and limit human presence to brief, remote-controlled missions. Sediment accumulation obscures many surfaces, hiding inscriptions or entranceways that might unlock further understanding. Even as technology improves, the ocean's vastness and complexity mean that much of the vaults remain beyond reach, enigmatic and silent. The vaults of the vanished civilization serve as a profound reminder of how much of our planet's history remains submerged, literally and figuratively. They invite us to reflect on the impermanence of human achievements and the layers of time that wash over even the grandest constructions. What drove their creators to build such enduring spaces beneath the sea? What wisdom, culture, or technology might these vaults contain, waiting for the day when we can fully unlock their mysteries? As we peer into the darkened halls of these underwater chambers, questions multiply. Who were the architects of these vaults? What fate befell their civilization? Are these vaults singular anomalies, or part of a wider network of submerged sites yet to be discovered? And perhaps most hauntingly, what else lies sealed in the depths, beyond our current knowledge and reach? The ocean, as ever, guards its secrets with patience. The vaults of the vanished civilization remain silent, their stone walls holding stories untold, waiting for the next wave of explorers to listen closely and perhaps hear the faint echoes of a past lost beneath the tides. From the stone vaults hidden beneath the seafloor, our journey now carries us deeper into another perplexing marvel, the Deepwater columns. Rising abruptly from the abyssal plains, these towering, pillar-like formations appear as silent sentinels in the vast, shadowed underwater landscapes. Enigmatic structures that challenge our understanding of natural processes and ancient human endeavor alike. Imagine descending through the cold, inky depths, where sunlight fades into darkness and the pressure mounts with each meter. Suddenly, through the gloom, these immense columns emerge, vertical monoliths reaching tens of meters high, their surfaces smooth yet irregular, clustered in groups or standing solitary against the endless seabed. Their sheer scale and geometry stand in stark contrast to the chaotic jumble of typical oceanic rock formations. The discovery of the Deepwater columns occurred over several expeditions spanning decades, initially dismissed as natural basaltic formations or the result of volcanic activity. Yet, as sonar imaging and submersible explorations advanced, questions began to arise. Unlike typical volcanic pillars formed by cooling lava, these columns exhibit patterns and alignments that seem too precise, too intentional to be purely geological. Some columns feature remarkably uniform diameters, evenly spaced intervals, and even intricate carvings barely discernible under layers of marine growth. Scientific consensus still largely attributes these columns to natural geological phenomena, processes like columnar basalt formation, where lava cools and fractures into polygonal pillars. This explanation is supported by numerous analogous formations found above sea level, such as the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland or Devil's Tower in the United States. However, the depth and underwater context introduce peculiarities that have fueled continued debate. For one, the columns are found at depths and locations that raise questions about their formation timeline. Some lie hundreds of meters below current sea level, implying they originated when these areas were dry land, possibly during periods of lower sea levels in the last ice age. But the sheer number and distribution of these columns across multiple ocean basins suggests something more complex than isolated volcanic events. Moreover, some of the columns' surfaces bear marks that resemble human craftsmanship, deliberate chisel marks, geometric patterns, and symbols that do not match natural erosion or marine life activity. Could these be remnants of an ancient civilization's architectural endeavor, submerged over millennia by rising seas? If so, what purpose did these columns serve? Were they structural supports for vast temples or palatial complexes, markers of territory, or part of an unknown system for harnessing energy or water? Venturing further into speculation, some researchers propose that the columns might be the product of prehistoric megastructures, engineered with a technology lost to time. The uniformity and precision imply advanced knowledge of materials and construction techniques, raising profound questions about humanity's forgotten capabilities or the presence of an earlier culture predating recorded history. Alternative theories explore more exotic possibilities. Could these columns be remnants of extraterrestrial architecture, crafted by visitors whose purpose and origin remain mysteries? Or perhaps they are the skeletal remains of colossal sea creatures, fossilized and mineralized beyond recognition. While such ideas fall outside mainstream acceptance, they underscore the challenge the Deepwater columns present to our conventional narratives. The marine environment itself adds layers of mystery. Surrounding the columns, unique ecosystems flourish. Corals, sponges, and deep-sea fauna adapted to the specific conditions created by these structures. The biological communities may offer clues to the column's age and history, but they also complicate exploration. Thick coral incrustations obscure fine details, making it difficult to discern natural from artificial features. Explorers have reported anomalies in acoustic readings near the columns, unexplained echoes, signal distortions, and electromagnetic fluctuations that some interpret as evidence of remaining energy sources or materials unlike typical geological formations. Whether these phenomena are artifacts of the environment or hints of something more profound remains uncertain. From the stone vaults hidden beneath the seafloor, our journey now carries us deeper into another perplexing marvel: the Deepwater columns. Rising abruptly from the abyssal plains, these towering, pillar-like formations appear as silent sentinels in the vast, shadowed underwater landscapes. Enigmatic structures that challenge our understanding of natural processes and ancient human endeavor alike. Imagine descending through the cold, inky depths, where sunlight fades into darkness and the pressure mounts with each meter. Suddenly, through the gloom, these immense columns emerge, vertical monoliths reaching tens of meters high, their surfaces smooth yet irregular, clustered in groups or standing solitary against the endless seabed. Their sheer scale and geometry stand in stark contrast to the chaotic jumble of typical oceanic rock formations. The discovery of the Deepwater columns occurred over several expeditions spanning decades, initially dismissed as natural basaltic formations or the result of volcanic activity. Yet, as sonar imaging and submersible explorations advanced, questions began to arise. Unlike typical volcanic pillars formed by cooling lava, these columns exhibit patterns and alignments that seem too precise, too intentional to be purely geological. Some columns feature remarkably uniform diameters, evenly spaced intervals, and even intricate carvings barely discernible under layers of marine growth. Scientific consensus still largely attributes these columns to natural geological phenomena, processes like columnar basalt formation, where lava cools and fractures into polygonal pillars. This explanation is supported by numerous analogous formations found above sea level, such as the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland or Devil's Tower in the United States. However, the depth and underwater context introduce peculiarities that have fueled continued debate. For one, the columns are found at depths and locations that raise questions about their formation timeline. Some lie hundreds of meters below current sea level, implying they originated when these areas were dry land, possibly during periods of lower sea levels in the last ice age. But the sheer number and distribution of these columns across multiple ocean basins suggests something more complex than isolated volcanic events. Moreover, some of the columns' surfaces bear marks that resemble human craftsmanship, deliberate chisel marks, geometric patterns, and symbols that do not match natural erosion or marine life activity. Could these be remnants of an ancient civilization's architectural endeavor, submerged over millennia by rising seas? If so, what purpose did these columns serve? Were they structural supports for vast temples or palatial complexes, markers of territory, or part of an unknown system for harnessing energy or water? Venturing further into speculation, some researchers propose that the columns might be the product of prehistoric megastructures, engineered with a technology lost to time. The uniformity and precision imply advanced knowledge of materials and construction techniques, raising profound questions about humanity's forgotten capabilities or the presence of an earlier culture predating recorded history. Alternative theories explore more exotic possibilities. Could these columns be remnants of extraterrestrial architecture, crafted by visitors whose purpose and origin remain mysteries? Or perhaps they are the skeletal remains of colossal sea creatures, fossilized and mineralized beyond recognition. While such ideas fall outside mainstream acceptance, they underscore the challenge the Deepwater columns present to our conventional narratives. The marine environment itself adds layers of mystery. Surrounding the columns, unique ecosystems flourish: corals, sponges, and deep-sea fauna adapted to the specific conditions created by these structures. The biological communities may offer clues to the column's age and history, but they also complicate exploration. Thick coral incrustations obscure fine details, making it difficult to discern natural from artificial features. Explorers have reported anomalies in acoustic readings near the columns, unexplained echoes, signal distortions, and electromagnetic fluctuations that some interpret as evidence of remaining energy sources or materials unlike typical geological formations. Whether these phenomena are artifacts of the environment or hints of something more profound remains uncertain. From the silent sentinels of the Deepwater columns, our exploration gently shifts toward a structure equally enigmatic and evocatively named the Bridge No One Built. As we descend into the quiet depths where sunlight has long surrendered to the ocean's ink-black embrace, this underwater anomaly emerges, an architectural mystery that appears, at first glance, to defy all logic and known history. Picture a colossal arc stretching across the seabed, spanning hundreds of meters, formed not by coral or natural stone, but by a series of massive stone blocks aligned with an unsettling precision. These stones rise from the ocean floor like the ribs of a forgotten giant, their weathered surfaces etched by time and water, but still maintaining the unmistakable geometry of human design. It is not a natural reef, nor a simple rock formation shaped by currents or volcanic activity. This is something different, something deliberate, a bridge suspended beneath the waves, holding court in a realm where few have dared to tread. The Bridge. No One Built was first detected during deep-sea mapping surveys conducted with advanced sonar technology. Initial readings puzzled researchers. The linear formation was unlike anything seen before in such an isolated and remote part of the ocean. Submersible missions followed, sending back grainy images that only deepened the mystery. Here, in the desolate underwater plains, this bridge seemed to connect two now submerged plateaus, landforms that were once thought to be unconnected. Scientists have long debated the bridge's origins. The prevailing explanation anchors it firmly in natural phenomena. Some geologists suggest it could be a remarkable example of columnar basalt formations that, through rare tectonic movements, fractured and aligned to resemble a constructed bridge. Such natural stone bridges do exist on land, formed by erosion and geological forces over millennia. Yet few have been found at such depths, and none exhibit the symmetry and scale witnessed here. Others propose a more archaeological perspective. The submerged plateaus on either side might have once been part of an ancient coastline or inhabited landmass, now lost to rising seas. Could this bridge be a remnant of a prehistoric civilization constructed to connect two vital regions? If so, it would represent engineering prowess far beyond what current historical records suggest for that era, raising questions about the technological capabilities of our ancestors. The bridge's sheer scale also invites wonder. Its stones measure several meters across, meticulously fitted as if to bear tremendous weight. Could it have supported foot traffic, carts, or even waterways? And what purpose might it have served in a time long before modern infrastructure? Was it a trade route, a ceremonial passage, or perhaps a boundary marker, an expression of territorial control or spiritual significance? Adding layers to the mystery are peculiar features noted by underwater archaeologists. Some stones appear deliberately carved, bearing patterns that resist easy classification, geometric shapes, spirals, and lines reminiscent of ancient symbols found far from the ocean depths. Are these decorations or messages left by unknown hands? If so, what language or symbolism might they represent, and what stories did they once tell? On the more speculative end of the spectrum, alternative theories range from the intriguing to the extraordinary. Some hypothesize that the bridge might be evidence of a lost civilization with advanced maritime engineering wiped from history by cataclysmic events. Others suggest the possibility of it being an artifact from a civilization submerged not just by rising seas, but by shifting continents or tectonic upheaval. There are even whispers of more esoteric ideas, of the bridge serving as a gateway between worlds, or as part of a larger network of underwater constructions designed for unknown purposes. While these theories lie beyond mainstream acceptance, they underscore the depth of fascination and mystery surrounding this submerged structure. The surrounding marine environment adds a further dimension to the enigma. The bridge is home to vibrant ecosystems, with corals, sponges, and schools of fish weaving through its arches. These living communities both preserve and obscure the structure, cloaking it in layers of growth that complicate detailed study, but also suggest a long period of submersion. How long has the bridge rested here, silent and forgotten? What can the marine life tell us about the passage of time and the history of this place? Acoustic studies conducted near the bridge reveal subtle anomalies, echoes and reverberations that do not fully conform to expectations for stone formations of this kind. Some speculate that these acoustic signatures could indicate hollow spaces within the structure, or materials with unusual properties, hinting at chambers or tunnels now filled or collapsed. Local myths and legends from coastal communities nearby add a human element to the tale. Stories passed down through generations speak of paths beneath the waves and bridges of stone where spirits cross. While these tales cannot be taken as evidence, they reveal a cultural memory that resonates with the physical presence of the bridge, weaving together history, mythology, and the unknown. The bridge no one built remains a silent enigma beneath the waves, both a testament to the natural forces that sculpt our planet and a tantalizing hint of forgotten histories submerged beneath the ocean's depths. As modern technology allows us to peer ever deeper and with greater clarity, we are reminded of how much remains beyond our grasp. What truths lie encoded in these submerged stones? What stories of human endeavor, loss, or nature's artistry wait patiently beneath the cold, dark water? And perhaps most profoundly, how many other such mysteries linger unseen, bridging the gap between known history and the vast, unexplored deep? The ocean keeps its secrets close, and as we navigate these depths, it invites us not only to discover, but to wonder about the bridge no one built and the countless mysteries yet to be unveiled beneath the surface. From the hushed sanctity of the cradle of the ocean gods, our gaze drifts toward another enigmatic tableau deep beneath the waves, the lights beneath the silent reef. Here, the ocean's quiet darkness is punctuated by sudden, mysterious glimmers, ethereal illuminations that flicker and dance like distant stars trapped beneath the sea. Picture a vast coral reef, sprawling and ancient, its intricate architecture formed over millennia by countless generations of tiny marine architects. This reef, unlike the bustling underwater gardens teeming with life in shallower waters, holds an eerie stillness. The currents here move with a measured, almost deliberate calm, carrying with them whispers of the unknown. At night, when sunlight retreats and the world above falls into silence, strange lights emerge from the reef's shadowed depths, casting surreal glows across the surrounding waters. These lights are not the familiar bioluminescence of fireflies or glowing jellyfish. Rather, they appear in unexpected patterns, pulsing or steady, sometimes arranged in linear sequences or hovering in clusters, as though signaling from an ancient code. Mariners and deep-sea explorers alike have reported sightings of these luminous phenomena for decades, often describing them as otherworldly and inexplicable. Scientific investigation into the lights beneath the silent reef has confirmed that certain species of deep-sea organisms can produce bioluminescence for various purposes: communication, camouflage, or attracting prey. Yet, the patterns observed here defy typical biological explanations. The light's rhythmic behavior and apparent organization suggest something more deliberate. What mechanism could orchestrate such phenomena on a reef known for its silence? Advanced underwater drones and remote-operated vehicles equipped with sensitive imaging technology have captured fleeting glimpses of these lights, but direct observation remains challenging. The reef's topography, a labyrinth of coral spires, underwater caves, and narrow channels, obscures vision and complicates navigation. Every dive into this realm seems to raise more questions than answers. Some researchers hypothesize that the lights could be the product of unknown marine species or undiscovered biological processes unique to this reef. Could it be that life here has evolved sophisticated communication methods beyond our current understanding, employing light as a language beneath the waves? The notion tantalizes the imagination, hinting at an underwater civilization of sorts, where light replaces spoken words in a deep-sea dialect. Others consider geological explanations. Certain mineral deposits and chemical reactions within the reef's structure might produce faint luminescence under specific conditions. Could the reef itself be alive in a way we do not yet comprehend? A complex organism interacting with its environment through light emissions? Such ideas challenge conventional boundaries between biology and geology. Local fishermen and coastal inhabitants often recount folklore tied to these lights. Stories speak of ghost lights that appear to guide lost sailors or warn of impending storms. Some myths describe them as spirits of the sea, guardians of sacred places submerged by time. These cultural narratives, while intangible, enrich the mystery and connect the natural phenomenon with human imagination and reverence. The reef's silence adds another layer to the enigma. Unlike the lively reefs closer to the surface, bustling with fish calls and snapping crustaceans, the silent reef seems almost mute. This acoustic emptiness is not fully understood. Is it a natural result of depth and isolation, or could it be related to the strange lights themselves? Do these lights serve a function in a silent ecosystem where sound is scarce or meaningless? Speculation extends even further, with fringe theories suggesting that the lights might be signals from underwater alien installations or remnants of lost technologies from ancient civilizations. While such ideas remain firmly outside mainstream science, they underscore the human fascination with phenomena that elude straightforward explanation. They also reflect a broader quest to find meaning in the depths, where the familiar fades and the mysterious takes hold. Modern technology continues to push the boundaries of what we can observe. Innovations in sonar mapping, spectral analysis, and submersible robotics offer hope for unraveling the secrets of these elusive lights. Each expedition reveals new data, but the puzzle remains incomplete, like pieces scattered across an ocean floor shrouded in darkness. As we contemplate the lights beneath the silent reef, we are reminded of the ocean's dual nature, a world both profoundly familiar and deeply alien. It is a realm where science and myth coexist, where questions outnumber answers, and where every discovery opens the door to new mysteries. What purposes do these lights serve? Are they natural phenomena, biological communication, geological curiosities, or something else entirely? The silent reef holds its secrets close, inviting us to listen not just with our instruments, but with our curiosity and wonder. Beneath the calm surface, in the stillness of the deep, the lights flicker, guardians of a silent realm, beacons in the dark, and reminders that some mysteries may never fully yield their truths. What stories do they tell? And what truths remain hidden in the glimmers beneath the waves? The answers, like the lights themselves, remain just out of reach, waiting patiently in the depths. From the elusive flickers beneath the silent reef, our journey now turns toward a realm where water meets memory, the traces of the forgotten shore. Here, where the sea quietly laps against submerged landscapes, the ocean guards the remnants of coastlines lost to time, whispering stories etched in sand and stone beneath waves that have long erased their outlines. Imagine a shoreline once vibrant with life, where ancient peoples walked, fished, and built their homes. Today, this shore lies swallowed beneath the sea, concealed by layers of sediment and salt water. Yet, beneath the shifting tides, faint echoes endure, remnants of a world that once was, glimpses of a past forgotten by most, but not entirely erased. These traces, subtle and mysterious, challenge our understanding of history and the dynamic face of our planet. The discovery of submerged shorelines is no mere happenstance. Advances in sonar technology, satellite imaging, and underwater archaeology have revealed outlines of what were once vast coastal plains, now resting hundreds of feet below sea level. From the flooded landscapes of Doggerland beneath the North Sea to the submerged terraces off the coasts of Japan and India, these forgotten shores represent chapters in Earth's long story of change, climatic shifts, rising seas, and cataclysmic events reshaping the very ground beneath us. But these traces are not simply geological. Scattered across these underwater plains are artifacts and structures, stone tools, foundations, and enigmatic formations that hint at human presence long before the known historical record. How did these ancient communities adapt to the encroaching sea? What stories do their remnants tell about survival, loss, and transformation? Among the most haunting examples are the submerged ruins off the coast of Dwarka in India. Once a thriving port city, legend and some archaeological evidence suggest it was engulfed by the sea thousands of years ago. Sonar scans reveal the outlines of walls, streets, and even what appear to be docks. Yet the details are shrouded in uncertainty. Were these truly the remnants of a lost civilization, or natural rock formations shaped by millennia of tides? The debate remains open. Similarly, off the coast of Louisiana, the discovery of sunken forests, ancient tree stumps preserved underwater, provides a chilling reminder of shifting landscapes and the relentless advance of the ocean. These submerged woods bear witness to dramatic environmental changes, yet their silent presence also provokes questions about the lives that once depended on these now vanished lands. Scientific consensus holds that rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age, roughly 12,000 years ago, submerged many such coastal areas. But this explanation, while sound, does not diminish the profound mystery these sites evoke. How extensive were these ancient shorelines? Could some have harbored advanced cultures lost to us now? And what might remain hidden, waiting to be uncovered beneath the shifting sediments? Speculation occasionally ventures into more controversial territory. Some researchers propose that these submerged lands may connect with myths of lost continents, Atlantis, Lemuria, or Mu, stories passed down through generations, encoded in legends that transcend culture and time. Could these myths be faint reflections of actual places swallowed by the sea? Or are they symbolic tales, cautionary or allegorical, about human vulnerability to nature's forces? Beyond the physical remnants, the concept of the forgotten shore carries a metaphysical weight. It evokes a sense of loss, a poignant reminder of impermanence. The ocean, vast and inscrutable, consumes and conceals, yet preserves in its depths fragments of human history and natural evolution. Each submerged trace is a question mark, an invitation to explore what was and what might still be discovered. Yet, these investigations are fraught with challenges. Underwater archaeology is painstaking and limited by the ocean's depths and conditions. Sediments shift, organic materials decay, and time blurs the lines between nature and human handiwork. Distinguishing between the two requires patience and precision, often leaving more to wonder than to definitively know. Furthermore, The sea itself seems to guard these places, cloaking them in silence and shadow. Unlike terrestrial ruins exposed to the air and light, these submerged shores exist in a realm of half-light and pressure, a world where time moves differently. What stories might these depths hold if only we could listen more closely? Could the ocean's forgotten shores hold keys to understanding humanity's origins, migrations, or ancient knowledge lost in the tides? Are we only beginning to scratch the surface of a submerged archive, one that might redefine history and our relationship to the sea? As we linger on the edges of these vanished coastlines, a sense of awe and mystery envelops us. The sea, which gives and takes with indifferent grace, preserves secrets in its depths, waiting for the patient and the curious. The traces of the forgotten shore remind us that beneath the calm surface lies a tapestry of vanished worlds, where history sleeps beneath waves, and the line between myth and reality blurs. In this ongoing exploration, the forgotten shore calls to us, not with a shout, but with a quiet, persistent echo, urging us to dive deeper into the unknown and to ponder what truths the ocean still keeps hidden in its endless embrace. From the softly whispered tales of the forgotten shore, our journey descends further into the enigmatic depths, arriving at a place few have dared to imagine, the seafloor that shouldn't exist. Beneath the vast expanse of open water lies a stretch of ocean bed that defies conventional wisdom, challenging the very foundations of geology and oceanography. Picture the deep ocean floor, a place thought to be shaped by the slow, inexorable dance of tectonic plates and sediment accumulation over millions of years. But here, in a quiet corner of the abyss, lies a formation so anomalous that it seems to break every rule. Jagged cliffs rise sharply from the dark, smooth plains, layers of rock stacked in patterns that suggest rapid upheaval rather than gradual formation, and geological structures that appear too orderly, too deliberate to be the product of natural forces alone. This is not a place marked on every chart, nor one easily reached by the expeditions of science. Yet remote sensing technology, multi-beam sonar, seismic imaging, and underwater drones have captured glimpses of this mysterious seafloor, igniting debate and fascination alike. Scientists first noticed irregularities here decades ago when detailed mapping revealed formations that contrasted sharply with the surrounding ocean bed. Where the seafloor was expected to slope gently or be covered by thick layers of sediment, instead there were sharp ridges and terraces, their shapes reminiscent of ruins or ancient terraces carved by human hands. Could natural geological processes alone create such complexity? Or was something else at play? Standard geological explanations point toward tectonic activity, underwater earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and the shifting of plates that could sculpt unusual formations. Indeed, the ocean floor is far from static. Hydrothermal vents spew mineral-rich fluids, submarine landslides rearrange sediments, and magma chambers reshape the crust below. But even accounting for these forces, the seafloor that shouldn't exist remains an enigma. Its distinct formations do not align easily with known processes, and some seem to defy the timelines established by the study of plate tectonics. Explorations with remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, have brought back images of terraces and sharp edges unlike the typical rounded hills found elsewhere on the ocean floor. Rock samples reveal compositions that are equally puzzling. Some are unlike any known volcanic or sedimentary rock, exhibiting mineral patterns that suggest rapid cooling or sudden chemical reactions, yet no active geothermal vents are detected nearby. Moreover, the arrangement of certain features seems to suggest a pattern or purpose. Lines intersect at precise angles, and some formations form near-perfect geometric shapes. Circles, squares, even rectangles, that are rare in natural rock formations. Is this coincidence or evidence of an ancient presence? This leads into realms where verified science meets the shadow of speculation. Some theorists propose that these formations could be remnants of a vanished civilization, perhaps one that predated all known history and was submerged by catastrophic sea level rise or geological upheaval. Could this seafloor be the graveyard of structures built long before our oldest records? Or might it be natural phenomena so rare that they appear almost artificial to our eyes? Others suggest that these anomalies are related to unknown or little understood geological phenomena, massive underwater gas releases, rapid mineral deposition, or even tectonic forces that behave in ways we have yet to fully comprehend. There is also the intriguing possibility that these formations result from some form of ancient bioengineering, created by organisms whose fossilized traces have escaped our detection. The idea that life itself might have shaped the seafloor in these patterns adds another layer of mystery. Some marine biologists note that certain deep-sea organisms, corals, sponges, and microbial mats, can form large, structured colonies that influence sediment and rock formations over millennia. But could such biological processes account for the precision and scale observed here? Beyond scientific inquiry, the seafloor that shouldn't exist invites philosophical questions about our understanding of Earth's history. How much of the ocean floor remains unexplored or misunderstood? What else lies hidden in the silent depths that might rewrite chapters of geology, archaeology, or even biology? The ocean, vast and largely unexplored, continues to remind us of our limitations. Each new discovery pushes the boundaries of knowledge, yet often uncovers more questions than answers. The seafloor that shouldn't exist stands as a testament to the unknown, an underwater puzzle piece that refuses to fit neatly into established frameworks. As we contemplate this mysterious seafloor, we are reminded that the Earth beneath the waves is a dynamic and sometimes baffling canvas. It is a place where natural forces may mimic design, where the ancient and the alien could intersect, and where the deep sea holds secrets waiting patiently to be understood. What truths might this enigmatic landscape conceal? Are we witnessing the silent echo of a forgotten epic, or a natural marvel beyond current comprehension? The seafloor that shouldn't exist remains an open question, an invitation to explore deeper, think broader, and wonder endlessly about the mysteries hidden beneath the ocean's surface. From the perplexing contours of the seafloor that shouldn't exist, our exploration now shifts toward a phenomenon both striking and serene: ancient terraces beneath the tide. These submerged steps, stretching quietly along the ocean's edge and descending deep beneath the waves, offer a glimpse into a world suspended between time and tide, where geology, history, and mystery converge. Imagine standing on a modern shoreline, the gentle rhythm of waves brushing over smooth stones. Below, hidden from casual view, lie vast terraces, broad, flat platforms carved into coastal cliffs or scattered along the continental shelf. These terraces, like ancient stairways frozen in time, descend into the dark embrace of the ocean, their origins and purposes wrapped in shadows that beckon our curiosity. Ancient terraces have been documented in various coastal regions worldwide. Their formation is generally understood as the product of fluctuating sea levels over millennia, an interplay of rising and falling tides shaped by glacial cycles. As glaciers advanced and retreated, sea levels rose and fell, leaving marks etched into the land in the form of these stepped platforms. Yet, while this explanation fits a broad pattern, the terraces themselves reveal enigmas that continue to challenge researchers. Some terraces stretch for miles with a remarkable uniformity in width and height. Their edges are sharply defined, almost too regular to be the simple result of natural erosion. In certain locations, these terraces intersect with unusual rock formations, large, smooth-faced stones positioned in deliberate alignments that hint at human craftsmanship. Could these terraces have been more than mere geological relics? Might they have served as platforms for ancient settlements, ceremonial sites, or pathways connecting communities long swallowed by the sea? Scientific expeditions equipped with sonar mapping and underwater photography have revealed these terraces in stunning detail. Images show terraces layered one above another, like a series of steps descending gently into the deep. Some have been found to host diverse ecosystems, coral reefs clinging to their ledges and fish darting through crevices. The terraces are alive in their own way, yet their silent origins remain elusive. The terraces beneath the tide also challenge our understanding of ancient human history. Around the world, coastal civilizations have been profoundly shaped by changing shorelines. Could these terraces be the remains of human habitation lost to rising seas? Archaeologists speculate that some submerged terraces might conceal traces of structures, tools, or artifacts, silent witnesses to cultures that once thrived where the ocean now rules. In regions like the Mediterranean and parts of Southeast Asia, ancient terraces have been linked to human activity. But many terraces lie in remote or deep waters, unexplored and poorly understood. What stories might these hidden shelves tell if we could decipher their secrets? Transitioning from these grounded observations, some have ventured further into speculation. The idea that these terraces might be remnants of deliberately constructed platforms, built for unknown purposes by lost civilizations, raises tantalizing questions. Could advanced prehistoric societies have engineered such terraces for agriculture, religious rites, or trade? Or might these formations be the vestiges of a civilization displaced by catastrophic flooding, an Atlantis not of myth, but of submerged reality? Others suggest that terraces could serve as natural stages for geological or oceanographic processes not fully understood. Perhaps underwater currents, sediment flows, or tectonic pressures sculpt these features with a precision that mimics human handiwork. Alternatively, could biological agents, such as coral or microbial colonies, play a role in stabilizing and shaping these terraces over vast timescales? The mystery deepens when we consider terraces found far from any known human settlement or in environments seemingly inhospitable to life. How did such terraces form in these distant places? Are they merely geological quirks, or do they hint at something more profound, a message encoded in the Earth's shifting crust? Each terrace, with its quiet dignity, invites reflection on the impermanence of land and the persistence of nature. What once stood firm and dry is now submerged and transformed, a reminder that the line between earth and ocean is ever-changing. Could these terraces be archives of ancient climates, preserving clues about how our planet's surface evolved? Furthermore, they provoke a deeper inquiry into the resilience and adaptability of human life. If these terraces once bore the footsteps of people, what became of them? Were they swept away by floods, or did they migrate inland as the seas rose? And what lessons might their stories hold for us in an era of changing climates and rising waters? The terraces beneath the tide hold their secrets tightly, a quiet testament to the passage of epochs and the dance of nature's forces. They are natural monuments that speak in the language of stone and water, inviting us to listen closely, to wonder gently, and to acknowledge how much remains hidden beneath the surface. As we peer into this submerged world, questions ripple outward. How much of our own history lies just beyond reach, underwater and untouched? What truths might the terraces reveal if we learn to read their silent script? And perhaps, most compellingly, what mysteries still wait patiently beneath the tide, cloaked in shadow, awaiting discovery? From the silent terraces that disappear beneath the tide, we now turn our gaze toward a different enigma: the circles beneath the Western Sea. Here, hidden beneath the murky depths of a vast and restless ocean, lie mysterious formations that have puzzled explorers and scientists alike. These circles, etched into the seabed with uncanny precision, seem to defy easy explanation, inviting us to slow our breath and peer deeper into the unknown. Imagine the ocean floor, vast and largely unexplored, spreading out in shades of muted blues and grays beneath the drifting light. Among these shadows, a pattern emerges, nearly perfect circles, some spanning tens of meters in diameter, others smaller but no less distinct. Viewed from above, they resemble giant rings resting quietly on the sea's bed, as if placed there with intent rather than chance. Such formations were first detected through detailed sonar mapping during underwater surveys of the Western Sea region. The images revealed multiple circular structures, arranged in clusters, sometimes overlapping or connected by narrow channels. Their geometric regularity stood in stark contrast to the usually chaotic and uneven textures of the ocean floor. These circles often appear as raised ridges or sunken depressions, their edges sharply defined against the surrounding sediment. Some are composed of rock, others of compacted sand or coral, and occasionally scattered artifacts have been found within or near them. Stones shaped with unusual smoothness or patterns that suggest more than random geological activity. The initial assumption by marine geologists was that these circles were natural formations, the result of complex underwater currents or volcanic activity shaping the seabed over thousands of years. Indeed, whirlpools and eddies can create circular patterns in sediment, and certain volcanic cones and calderas take on rounded forms. But the precision and repetition of these circles, their consistent spacing and often symmetrical arrangement, left many questions unanswered. Could these circles be remnants of ancient underwater craters, formed by meteorite impacts long before recorded history? Some researchers suggest this possibility, noting the similarity of certain rings to known impact structures on land. Yet, many circles show no signs of the typical shock features or mineral alterations associated with such impacts, deepening the mystery. Another scientific perspective considers biological explanations. Some marine creatures are known to create circular nests or gardens on the seabed, elaborate designs sculpted to attract mates or protect offspring. The intricate nests of certain fish species, for example, bear a resemblance to these circles, yet the scale and uniformity here far exceed any documented biological construction. More curious still are the circles found in shallow waters, close to ancient coastlines that are now submerged due to rising sea levels. Could these be the remains of human activity, ceremonial sites, agricultural terraces, or the foundations of structures lost to the ocean? Coastal archaeology has revealed sunken villages and ports, but these circles' scale and precise geometry hint at a purpose that remains elusive. Speculation naturally extends into the realm of the unknown. Some theories propose that these circles are the vestiges of ancient civilizations, perhaps builders of advanced underwater cities or ritual grounds, whose existence has been erased by time and tide. Others imagine the circles as markers or beacons, designed to communicate across the dark expanse of the sea, a silent language lost to us now. Could these structures be evidence of prehistoric maritime cultures, whose knowledge of the ocean was far greater than we appreciate? Or might they be natural phenomena so rare and subtle that we have yet to grasp their origin fully? Each circle holds its own story, but the collective pattern remains a profound enigma. Modern technology continues to probe these formations. Submersibles dive to capture high-resolution images, while underwater drones map their extent with increasing precision. Chemical analyses seek clues in the sediments, looking for traces of human modification or biological activity. Yet, with every answer uncovered, new questions arise, reinforcing the depth of this mystery. The circles beneath the Western Sea invite us to reflect on the boundary between natural wonder and human legacy. They challenge our assumptions about what the ocean floor can reveal, urging patience and humility. What if, in these silent rings, lies a forgotten chapter of Earth's history waiting to be read? As we gaze upon these circles, perfectly poised in the abyss, we are reminded of the ocean's vastness and the limits of our knowledge. What truths linger beneath the waves, shaped by forces we barely comprehend, or by hands now vanished into the depths? The mystery endures, quietly beckoning those who dare to listen and explore further into the deep. Flowing gently from the enigmatic circles beneath the Western Sea, we now turn toward a story that has captivated imaginations for millennia, the tale of Atlantis. Yet here, in the depths of the ocean's quiet embrace, we explore not the myth as often told, but rather the Atlantis that wasn't, a narrative woven through history, speculation, and a mosaic of misunderstood truths. Picture the shimmering surface of the Atlantic Ocean, vast and seemingly endless. Beneath this expanse lies a realm of silence and shadow, where sunlight fades and pressure rises, cloaking secrets in perpetual mystery. It is here, amid the deep, that the legend of Atlantis first took shape, not as a mere fable, but as a persistent symbol of lost knowledge and vanished worlds. The story of Atlantis originates with the ancient philosopher Plato, who described a prosperous island civilization swallowed by the sea in a single day and night of misfortune. For centuries, this tale has been retold, transformed, and sometimes distorted, inspiring countless theories about the city's true nature and location. But what if the Atlantis we chase today is not the one Plato envisioned? What if the legend itself is less about a sunken city and more about humanity's longing to find meaning beneath the waves? Scholars have long debated whether Atlantis ever existed as a physical place. Some argue that Plato's account was allegorical, a moral story about hubris and divine punishment rather than a literal historical event. Others point to real places that may have inspired the myth: the volcanic destruction of Thera, modern Santorini, the disappearance of Minoan civilization, or the gradual flooding of coastal areas after the last ice age. Yet, over the centuries, explorers and enthusiasts have sought to pinpoint Atlantis beneath the ocean, sometimes guided by hopeful maps, sometimes by sonar images of submerged ruins. Locations as varied as the Azores, the Bahamas, and the Mediterranean seabed have all been proposed as the real Atlantis, each claim adding layers to a puzzle still far from complete. What makes this search so compelling is the tension between the concrete and the elusive. Modern technology offers glimpses of the underwater world with unprecedented clarity. Sonar mapping reveals structures that hint at human design, underwater archaeology uncovers artifacts that challenge timelines, and geological studies track the rise and fall of ancient shorelines. Yet, definitive evidence of a vast, advanced Atlantean city remains absent. Could the structures discovered be natural formations mistaken for ruins? Or perhaps remnants of smaller, less technologically advanced settlements gradually lost to the sea's slow encroachment? Alternatively, might some features be modern misinterpretations, shaped by expectations and cultural narratives rather than facts? More speculative theories push the boundaries of conventional archaeology. Some suggest Atlantis was not a single location, but a network of early civilizations connected by trade and shared knowledge, lost not in one cataclysm, but through gradual decline. Others propose that Atlantis was a metaphor for a prehistoric utopia, a cultural memory encoded in myth rather than stone. Even fringe ideas, while often dismissed, invite us to consider how myth and memory intertwine with history. Could Atlantis represent an ancient civilization with knowledge beyond our own, whose legacy was intentionally hidden or erased? Or does it serve as a mirror reflecting humanity's deep-seated yearning for origins, a symbol of what lies just beyond our understanding? The very name Atlantis has become a vessel filled with mystery, hope, and sometimes disappointment. It compels us to question the nature of truth beneath the ocean's surface. What do we see when we peer into the depths? Mere shadows shaped by light and imagination, or echoes of a world long submerged? As we contemplate the Atlantis that wasn't, we confront the fluid boundary between legend and reality, between what we know and what remains forever out of reach. The ocean holds its secrets close, offering only faint whispers in the currents, inviting us to listen, to wonder, and to keep searching. What if the greatest discovery lies not in finding Atlantis itself, but in understanding why this myth endures? Why beneath the vast, silent sea, the story still lives on, calling us to explore deeper into the unknown? Flowing gently from the enduring enigma of Atlantis, its mythos both tantalizing and elusive, we now turn our gaze to a different kind of mystery, one that invites us to peer not just beneath the waves, but through them. The ocean gateways to the unknown. Imagine for a moment, standing on the edge of the world's vast oceans, endless horizons stretching into the unknown. Beneath the surface, away from the reach of sunlight, lie dark passages and openings, silent portals that seem to lead to realms untouched by time. These gateways, hidden in the deep, have captured the imagination of explorers, scientists, and dreamers alike. What lies beyond them? Are they mere geological formations? Or could they be conduits to undiscovered dimensions, lost civilizations, or something far stranger? Ocean gateways take many forms. Some are physical, deep-sea trenches that plunge into the abyss, underwater caves twisting like labyrinths carved in stone, rifts between tectonic plates where the Earth's mantle pushes upward, creating vast chasms. Others are more subtle, areas where ocean currents converge mysteriously, where anomalous magnetic fields are detected, or where unexplained phenomena such as sudden temperature drops and sonic disturbances have been recorded. One of the most famous examples is the Mariana Trench, the deepest known part of the world's oceans. At nearly 11,000 meters below the surface, it's a place where pressure is crushing and sunlight is non-existent. It has been described as an oceanic gateway because of its vastness and the mystery it holds. Expeditions to the trench have revealed life forms adapted to unimaginable conditions, geological formations that defy easy explanation, and sonar images of shapes that have sparked debate and wonder. But what if the trench is not just a geological curiosity? What if it represents a threshold, a passage to a world beyond our current understanding? Scientific investigations provide clues, but often raise more questions than answers. Hydrothermal vents, for example, found along underwater rifts, support ecosystems completely independent of sunlight, thriving on chemical energy from the Earth's core. These black smokers could be seen as gateways themselves, portals where life as we know it begins anew in the absence of solar influence. Yet, their existence challenges traditional models of biology and ecology, suggesting there are hidden depths to our planet's life-supporting capabilities. Adding to the intrigue are the so-called blue holes, deep underwater sinkholes found in oceans and seas worldwide. Their perfectly circular shapes and extraordinary depths have puzzled researchers. Some blue holes contain fresh water layers beneath seawater, while others show evidence of ancient flora and fauna preserved in their depths. The Bahamas' Dean's Blue Hole is the deepest known, and its serene appearance belies the complexity and mystery contained within. Could these blue holes be remnants of ancient water systems, gateways to submerged worlds, or perhaps even entrances to unknown realms beneath the sea floor? Beyond physical openings, there are oceanic areas that have earned reputations as sites of strange phenomena, regions where compasses spin erratically, communication equipment fails, and vessels disappear without a trace. The Bermuda Triangle, for instance, has long been associated with tales of unexplained vanishings and electronic disturbances. While many incidents have been attributed to natural causes such as weather, human error, or magnetic anomalies, the persistent pattern of mysteries fuels speculation about unknown forces at work beneath the waves. Some researchers have speculated that these ocean gateways could serve as portals in a more metaphysical sense, thresholds where the laws of physics might bend or break down. Could the ocean depths harbor openings into parallel dimensions, or even time itself? While such theories remain firmly on the speculative fringe, they invite us to ponder the vastness of what we do not know, encouraging a humility in our search for answers. The role of underwater caves and tunnels also deepens the mystery. In places like the Yucatan Peninsula's extensive cave systems, divers have found passages that extend for kilometers beneath the earth and sea. These submerged networks reveal traces of ancient human activity, fossils, and artifacts, suggesting connections between land and sea that predate recorded history. Could such tunnels be remnants of lost civilizations, or natural formations mistaken for ancient constructs? What stories do they hold in their silent depths? Technological advances offer glimpses into these hidden gateways, with remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, submersibles, and sonar mapping uncovering previously inaccessible locations. Yet every discovery seems to open new doors of inquiry rather than closing the case. Sonar images show formations that resemble doorways or arches, yet resist easy classification. Are these natural phenomena shaped by unknown geological forces, or evidence of civilizations lost to time and tide? In contemplating these ocean gateways, we also confront the limits of human perception. The deep sea remains one of the least explored frontiers on Earth. Its darkness and pressure limit our ability to investigate fully, leaving vast swaths of the underwater world shrouded in mystery. Could it be that these gateways are not just physical, but symbolic? A representation of the threshold between the known and the unknown, between the seen and the unseen? As we peer through the watery veil, questions accumulate. What secrets are held within these passages? Could they be remnants of a world before our own, or paths to realms beyond our current comprehension? Are the anomalies recorded signs of natural processes we have yet to understand, or hints of phenomena that defy explanation? Ultimately, the ocean gateways remind us that beneath the calm surface of the sea lies a realm both ancient and alive with possibility. The mysteries they hold are not simply puzzles to be solved, but invitations to wonder, to explore the depths of not only the ocean, but of human curiosity itself. What truths might still lie just beyond these underwater thresholds? The ocean keeps its secrets well, and it is perhaps this very silence that calls us onward into the vast, quiet unknown. Continuing our journey from the silent shadows of the underwater catacombs, we now drift toward a different kind of enigma, one where history, myth, and the vast ocean depths converge in an unsettling dance. This is the story of the phantom ships of the abyss. Picture a vast, restless ocean under a twilight sky, endless waves stretching beyond the horizon. Amid this watery expanse, tales persist of ghostly vessels appearing without warning, ships lost to time and tide that suddenly emerge from the depths, shrouded in mist and mystery. These are the phantom ships, apparitions both feared and revered, slipping in and out of reality like whispers carried on the wind. The notion of ghost ships is hardly new. Mariners' lore is rich with accounts of spectral vessels, ships that sail without crews, glowing faintly, or that vanish as mysteriously as they appeared. Yet, beyond folklore and legend, a number of reports suggest these phenomena may be tied to actual physical objects resting deep beneath the waves, glimpsed fleetingly or detected by sonar but never fully understood. One of the most famous cases is the eerie discovery of shipwrecks that seem to defy conventional history. Vessels dating back centuries, found intact far from known shipping lanes, raise questions about the extent of ancient maritime travel and the mysteries lost to the sea. These finds speak to the ocean's capacity to conceal not only physical remnants, but entire stories and civilizations swallowed by time. Scientists and historians agree that many such shipwrecks result from storms, navigation errors, or warfare. The ocean's depths are littered with the remnants of countless ships, each with a story frozen in salt and rust. But what of the vessels that appear suddenly, without explanation, and vanish just as quickly? Are these mere optical illusions, tricks of light on mist and water? Or could they represent something more elusive? Advanced technologies like deep-sea sonar and remotely operated vehicles have revealed underwater wrecks in remarkable detail. Some discoveries show ships remarkably well preserved by cold, oxygen-poor waters, almost as if the sea itself has acted as a keeper of history. But alongside these finds come reports of inexplicable anomalies. Ghostly lights flickering on the ocean floor, unexplained electromagnetic pulses around wreck sites, and accounts from divers of hearing faint, indistinct voices or seeing shadows just beyond their lights. Could these phenomena be echoes of the past, residual energies trapped in metal and timber? Or might they hint at deeper mysteries, portals where the boundaries between worlds blur, allowing glimpses into other dimensions or times? While such ideas border on speculation, they open avenues for considering the ocean not merely as a graveyard of ships, but as a living archive, imbued with secrets and echoes that refuse to be silenced. Some fringe theories propose that the phantom ships might be linked to ancient civilizations possessing advanced maritime knowledge, their vessels capable of traversing not only seas, but perhaps realms unknown to modern science. Could these ghostly ships be remnants of a forgotten era when humanity's relationship with the ocean was far deeper and more mysterious than we currently understand? Others speculate about natural explanations rooted in oceanography and atmospheric phenomena. Fata Morgana mirages, for example, can create illusions of ships hovering above the water or appearing distorted. Bioluminescent plankton and gases released from seabed vents may also produce eerie glows mistaken for spectral vessels. Yet, these explanations, while plausible, do not fully account for the more persistent and tangible encounters reported by seasoned sailors and explorers. Moreover, the psychological effect of isolation, darkness, and the immense scale of the ocean cannot be discounted. The human mind, especially under extreme conditions, may perceive patterns and shapes that tap into deep-seated archetypes, ghost ships among them. But if the phantom ships are indeed reflections of our collective fears and hopes, what does their enduring presence say about humanity's connection to the sea? As we examine these watery phantoms, questions multiply. Are the phantom ships simply wrecks caught between worlds, their stories half told and their forms half seen? Or do they serve as reminders of the ocean's vast mysteries, thresholds we glimpse but never fully cross? And what might their appearances mean for our understanding of history, memory, and the unknown? The phantom ships invite us to look beyond the surface, to consider that the ocean is not only a physical space, but a realm where time, memory, and myth intertwine. They challenge us to keep searching, to listen for the whispers beneath the waves, and to accept that some mysteries are meant not for solving, but for contemplation. In the dimming light of the abyss, the phantom ships sail on, silent, elusive, and eternally beckoning us to follow their spectral wake into the depths of the unknown. Gliding onward from the spectral presence of the phantom ships, our descent carries us into one of the ocean's most confounding and enigmatic phenomena: murmurs from the Sunken Labyrinth. Picture, if you will, a place beneath the waves where sunlight dwindles to a faint shimmer, swallowed by the vast and silent darkness of the deep. Here lies a sprawling network of submerged passageways, a labyrinthine maze etched not by human hands, but by a mixture of natural forces and, perhaps, something else. The walls of these underwater corridors curve and spiral, leading deeper into mystery, silent sentinels guarding secrets buried by time and tide. These sunken labyrinths have been encountered in various corners of the world's oceans. Hidden canyons sculpted from ancient rock, winding caves flooded as sea levels rose, and elaborate underwater caverns that baffle even the most seasoned oceanographers. Their discovery often arises from accidental sonar readings or deep-sea explorations that reveal sprawling, interconnected tunnels extending far beyond what geology alone would predict. Geologists suggest many labyrinths originate from soluble rock formations like limestone, carved over millennia by water's patient erosion. Tectonic shifts, volcanic activity, and fluctuating sea levels contribute their part, creating an underwater terrain as complex and bewildering as any constructed by human hands. Yet, what sets these labyrinths apart is not just their size or shape, but the peculiar signs found within them: geometric patterns, unusual acoustics, and inexplicable formations that seem to defy purely natural origins. Among the most intriguing features of these underwater mazes are the faint murmurs that explorers report hearing, a chorus of soft, indecipherable sounds that seem to emanate from the very walls. These auditory phenomena, captured in recordings yet resistant to clear explanation, fuel speculation about the labyrinth's nature. Are they natural reverberations of underwater currents and marine life, or might they be echoes of something more? Ancient voices, long-forgotten rituals, or even the ocean itself whispering its hidden knowledge? Historical records and coastal myths offer tantalizing clues. Many cultures have spoken of labyrinths as sacred spaces, symbolic gateways between worlds. In some traditions, these intricate networks beneath the earth or sea were seen as passages for the soul, places where spirits wandered or were guided. Could the sunken labyrinths be physical embodiments of these spiritual concepts, their twisting passages echoing the complexity of human existence and the mysteries of the afterlife? Recent archaeological dives have uncovered evidence suggesting that some labyrinths may have been used by ancient peoples, artifacts, carvings, and structures indicating habitation or ritual use before submersion. Yet, the ocean's relentless embrace has obscured much of their story, leaving only fragments for us to piece together. More speculative theories suggest the labyrinths might have served as protective sanctuaries during times of upheaval, a refuge for knowledge, treasures, or even entire communities fleeing disaster. Others entertain the possibility that the labyrinths are remnants of advanced ancient civilizations whose understanding of the ocean and geology surpassed our own. Some fringe ideas venture further, proposing that these labyrinths could act as dimensional thresholds, places where the fabric between realities thins. Are the murmurs an indication of energies or intelligences beyond our comprehension? While such theories lie far beyond mainstream science, they underscore the profound mystery these submerged networks inspire. Whatever their origin, the sunken labyrinths challenge our perceptions of the ocean floor, not as a mere expanse of sand and rock, but as a living archive of history, myth, and perhaps something beyond. They invite us to listen closely, to hear the murmurs not just as sounds, but as messages waiting to be understood. As exploration continues and technology unveils more of these shadowy passages, we are reminded that beneath the waves lies a world as intricate and enigmatic as the human mind. What secrets remain hidden in the twisting corridors? What truths murmur quietly in the depths, just beyond our reach? In the darkened heart of the ocean's labyrinth, mystery endures, an invitation to ponder, to explore, and to wonder at what lies beneath the surface, waiting patiently for discovery. From the labyrinthine murmurs echoing in the deep, we now turn our attention to a place where silence drapes itself like a shroud, the veil of the underwater catacombs. Imagine descending into the ocean's shadowed depths, where faint beams of light falter and the water grows cold and still. Here, beneath layers of sediment and centuries of salt, lies a network of submerged catacombs, vast chambers and narrow corridors carved into the ancient bedrock, their walls etched with marks time itself struggles to decipher. These underwater catacombs, hidden beneath layers of earth and sea, evoke a solemn, almost sacred atmosphere, as if guarding secrets that span epochs. Unlike natural caves or labyrinths shaped solely by geological forces, these catacombs bear the unmistakable imprint of human craftsmanship. Their passageways are deliberate, their angles precise, suggesting purpose and design. Some stretches are lined with worn stone steps, others with alcoves or niches that hint at ritualistic use. Yet the ocean's embrace has swallowed their stories, leaving only faint whispers to be heard. Historically, many coastal civilizations built catacombs and underground burial sites near the sea, often for religious rites or as sanctuaries in times of turmoil. Rising sea levels, earthquakes, and other natural disasters eventually submerged these sites, transforming them into eerie relics beneath the waves. Today, the veil of the underwater catacombs reminds us how fragile human endeavors are when faced with nature's slow, relentless changes. Exploration of these catacombs is a formidable challenge. Deep currents, low visibility, and the fragility of the structures limit direct human access, relying instead on robotic submersibles and sonar mapping. These technologies reveal intricate networks, some spanning miles, that are both awe-inspiring and unsettling. What stories do these walls hold? Were these chambers tombs, temples, or refuges? Or could they have served multiple purposes, evolving alongside the cultures that created them? Within some catacombs, researchers have discovered artifacts, pottery shards, carved stones, even remnants of ancient textiles preserved by the cold. Yet, many questions remain unanswered. What drove ancient peoples to build so extensively beneath the earth near these waters? How did their lives and beliefs intertwine with the sea that would eventually claim their constructions? Beyond these archaeological mysteries, there are peculiar phenomena reported near some catacomb sites. Divers recount disorienting sensations, as if the walls themselves hum with unseen energy. Instruments sometimes register inexplicable magnetic anomalies, and faint sounds, often described as distant chanting or whispers, have been recorded, though their source remains unknown. Could these experiences be residual echoes of past rituals or emotions trapped in the stone and water? Or might they signify something more enigmatic, a natural resonance unique to the catacomb's construction and location, or even a form of communication from an unknown source? While science seeks rational explanations, these mysteries continue to fuel speculation and wonder. Some fringe theories propose that the underwater catacombs are gateways, thresholds to other dimensions or times, places where the boundary between the living world and the spiritual realm thins. Such ideas, though controversial, resonate with ancient myths of underworld entrances beneath the sea, portals guarded by labyrinthine corridors. Others suggest the catacombs might hold clues to lost civilizations whose histories have been erased by time and tide. Could their creators have possessed knowledge and technologies now forgotten, encoded subtly within the architecture and placement of these submerged sanctuaries? The veil of the underwater catacombs stands as a silent testament to human endurance and mystery. It invites us to reflect on the passage of time, the impermanence of human achievement, and the ocean's role as both destroyer and preserver. What truths lie veiled beneath the waves, etched into stone corridors lost to memory? And how many stories, songs and secrets remain locked away in the deep, waiting for the curious and the brave to uncover. As we linger at the threshold of these submerged catacombs, one thing is clear. Beneath the calm surface, the ocean guards its mysteries jealously, offering only glimpses to those who dare to seek. The veil remains, thin and shifting, beckoning us ever deeper into the unknown. Gliding gently from the veiled catacombs beneath the waves, our journey now turns toward a solitary sentinel lost to time and tide. The lost lighthouse of the depths. Imagine, far below where sunlight barely reaches, the skeletal remains of a towering structure, a lighthouse once standing proud against the relentless assault of ocean storms. Though today it lies submerged, swallowed by shifting sands and rising seas, this enigmatic relic continues to capture the imagination of explorers and historians alike. Lighthouses have long served as beacons of safety, guiding mariners through treacherous waters and fog-laden nights. Their lights piercing the darkness, these structures became symbols of hope and vigilance. But what of a lighthouse that now rests silently beneath the waves, its beam extinguished and its stones claimed by coral and sea life? How did such a sentinel, designed to guard and guide, come to be lost to the depths? Documented accounts from coastal communities speak of an ancient lighthouse erected on a rocky outcrop, a crucial landmark for centuries. Local records mention its importance as a navigational aid for trade routes and fishing fleets. Yet there is little agreement on its exact location or the timeline of its submersion. Some suggest it was engulfed in a cataclysmic event, an earthquake or a sudden rise in sea levels, while others propose a gradual erosion, the slow but inevitable march of nature reclaiming what man once claimed. In recent decades, marine archaeologists have undertaken expeditions to find remnants of this lost lighthouse. Sonar scans and underwater photography reveal ruins resembling the base of a large masonry tower, with architectural features that hint at human construction far beyond what might be expected in such remote seafloor locations. Divers describe eerie silence, broken only by the gentle murmur of currents and the distant calls of marine life, as if the sea itself mourns the loss of this guardian. Yet, amid these discoveries, a cloud of mystery remains. For some, the lost lighthouse of the depths defies straightforward explanation. How could a structure so vital simply vanish beneath the waves, leaving behind little but fragmented ruins? What stories lie trapped within these submerged stones? Stories of storms braved, lives saved, or perhaps tragedies unrecorded. Adding to the intrigue are accounts of strange lights observed near the supposed site of the lighthouse. Fishermen and sailors have reported fleeting glimmers, ghostly beacons flickering briefly in the darkness, only to vanish without trace. Could these be residual energies of the lighthouse's long extinguished light? Or might they be optical illusions created by bioluminescent creatures or shifting currents? Some speculative voices suggest that the lost lighthouse might not be merely a physical structure, but also a symbol, an anchor point for legends about portals to other realms beneath the sea, or meeting places for beings not entirely of this world. Such ideas, while outside mainstream science, evoke the lighthouse's traditional role as a guide between worlds, the known and the unknown, the safe and the perilous. Further puzzling is the suggestion that the lighthouse's submersion corresponds with shifts in ancient maritime routes and cultural exchanges. Could its loss have signaled a turning point, forcing seafaring communities to adapt and find new ways through changing waters? Archaeological findings hint at nearby submerged settlements, now lost or abandoned, raising questions about a wider transformation beneath the waves during that era. Whatever the reality, the lost lighthouse of the depths remains a profound mystery, its silent ruins a testament to humanity's fragile place within the vast oceanic landscape. It reminds us that the sea, while a provider and protector, is also a keeper of secrets, capable of swallowing whole the monuments we erect. As we peer into the abyss where this lighthouse once shone, we are left to wonder, what other sentinels await discovery beneath the waves? What histories have been lost, and what whispers of the past still flicker faintly in the darkness? In the stillness of the deep, the story of the lost lighthouse continues, silent, mysterious, and waiting. From the quiet shadows cast by the lost lighthouse, our journey leads us deeper into the ocean's enigmatic embrace, toward a spectacle both mesmerizing and enigmatic, the forgotten coral throne. Imagine descending into a realm where water filters sunlight into fractured patterns, dancing over a sprawling structure formed not from stone or metal, but from living coral, a vast throne-shaped edifice resting silently on the ocean floor. This is no ordinary reef. Its grandeur suggests design beyond mere chance, its contours evocative of a seat of power long abandoned, a monument grown over by the patient artistry of the sea. The forgotten coral throne has captivated marine scientists and explorers since its discovery. Unlike typical coral formations, this one exhibits an uncanny symmetry and scale, rising prominently above the seabed. Branches and polyps weave intricate patterns that seem almost deliberate, resembling architectural motifs seen in ancient ruins on land. To the eye, it might appear as a natural marvel, yet the arrangement raises a profound question. Could this coral growth be the living remnant of something once constructed, something that bore significance for vanished civilizations? Historical parallels abound in coastal folklore, where tales speak of underwater kingdoms ruled by monarchs seated upon thrones fashioned from coral and shell. Though mythic in tone, these stories resonate eerily with the coral structure's majestic presence. Was this throne a symbolic marker, a site of ceremonial importance, or a natural marvel revered by ancient peoples? Scientific investigations have mapped the coral's growth rings, revealing that the structure is centuries old, possibly even millennia. Radiometric dating suggests a timeline that overlaps with known periods of rising sea levels and coastal transformations. Could the coral throne have originally been part of a terrestrial temple or palace, submerged as the ocean advanced? Or did it grow in place, shaped by environmental factors and ecological succession, later inspiring legends born of its striking form? Researchers have noted unusual materials embedded within the coral matrix, small fragments of what appear to be carved stone, beads, and even metallic objects encrusted and hidden beneath layers of marine life. Such findings hint at human interaction, possibly offerings or artifacts lost to time. Yet, the context of these materials remains ambiguous, sparking debates on whether the coral encases remnants of human-made structures or simply gathered debris over centuries. Adding to the mystery are inexplicable phenomena reported around the throne. Divers recount feeling an almost reverential stillness, as if entering a sacred space. Some have experienced shifts in perception, distorted sense of time, faint echoes of sound that seem distant yet intimate. Could these be psychological effects of the underwater environment, or something more profound, subtle energies or memories imprinted in the living coral itself? In fringe circles, the coral throne is sometimes linked to theories of ancient maritime civilizations possessing sophisticated marine engineering skills now lost to history. Could this throne be the last witness to a forgotten realm, a nexus where ocean, culture, and myth intertwined? Might the coral's growth have been guided, deliberately cultivated, as a living monument to a sovereign submerged by the tides? Alternatively, some speculate the structure may function as a natural focal point for marine biodiversity, a cornerstone of the ecosystem that fosters life and sustains balance beneath the waves. In this view, the coral throne is less a relic and more a symbol of nature's resilience and artistry, an evolving masterpiece shaped by time, sea, and organism. What remains undeniable is the power of the forgotten coral throne to inspire wonder and reflection. It challenges our understanding of what lies beneath the waves, the interplay between nature and human history, the fragile boundaries between myth and reality. How many stories have been hidden in its living stone? What truths have been preserved, whispered quietly through coral branches, waiting for us to listen? As we gaze upon this silent sentinel of the sea, the question lingers. What secrets does the coral throne keep, and what might it reveal about the deep connections between human endeavor and the ever-changing ocean world? The throne endures, a testament to mystery itself, a puzzle shaped by both life and legend, submerged yet vividly alive in the quiet depths.